up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles live above your imagination from the International Fake Station. Wow. Up here with my good friend Something Wong. He and I just had a big bong rip right before we went live. And it looks like I got Cookie Monster. Ryan is back behind us on the stage. Who'd that be?
What's up, dude?
What's going on? So what do you think?
Frustrated.
What are you frustrated about?
You know, being censored.
How did you get censored tonight?
No, not really censored, but you know, like you can't write certain words in the chat, and it's starting to get on my nerves.
Yeah, they're kind of causing us to do our own censor. Self-censoring ourselves, you know, because of these, oh, we'll punish you. This is their whole little thing.
Can I ask, though, what do you think is wrong with saying the word DEATH? What's wrong with that word anyway? It's not like I was using it in a negative way.
I don't know, man. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a word. And so is die. And, you know, like my battery died here recently. I had to rebuy another one, which was crazy. I thought, that's no way. I just got that battery. And I looked into it and I took it in to see if I could get it under warranty. And shit, the 3-year warranty, I bought that thing over 5 years ago. It just seems like it was just like last year or something. But this is
Right.
how fast everything's going by. I can't believe we just came up on the 1-year anniversary of the hang glider parachute assault into Israel by the Hamas, which was predicted earlier in the year on the cover of the magazine The Economist. Pretty crazy, huh? How they have that shit.
Hang gliders? Really?
Yeah, don't you remember? That's how the Hamas came in. They came in on these hang gliders. Like it came in on these parafoil hang gliders and shit.
Very
And
interesting.
started shooting up some kind of homo music festival or something. I don't know. That was last year. That's how this whole thing started, with them putting the smackdown full throttle. And now, because of Gaza, they got to bomb Lebanon, I guess, and start a war on every front around them. Do you realize they just put themselves on the Little Bighorn? They just did the Little Bighorn.
Oh yeah.
They just went and started war with everyone around them. What the fuck is wrong with people, man?
I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe there's something wrong with them.
We got people in Miami are bracing for this storm. They're putting strapping their roofs down even. I've never even seen such a thing of that. Have you ever heard of that? Strapping your
No,
roof
but I
down?
have seen tornadoes and high winds blow the roofs right off of houses.
Yeah, I
So
have
I can
too.
assume that would be the only way to keep it from doing that, right? Is to strap it down.
Would that work? I wonder.
I don't know. It would make more sense to build a pile of dirt up against the side of your house that went all the way to the roof, and then put a space between it so you could walk in and get inside it, and then the air would blow up and over it, wouldn't it?
I saw a guy that was prepping down in Florida, the owner of a business, and what he had done is, that spray foam insulation?
Yeah, I got a whole case of that stuff.
He sprayed a bunch of that down at the base of the windows on the, because they go all the way to the sidewalk, right?
Right.
So he sprayed that shit about, I don't know, maybe about 8 inches wide and filled in the crack like a fillet weld, right?
Mhm.
And then coated it with that spray on rubber coating, like Flex Seal shit.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you what, it looked pretty sharp. I'll be curious to see if he follows up if it worked. But that was
like
that's pretty ingenious, really. I was like, oh man, that might just actually work. It's got enough flex to it so that it doesn't break. So it'll seal that water from getting in around under the window and shit. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that.
It's a pretty good idea. Flex
Yeah,
Seal
man.
probably would work good if you sprayed it thick enough on the outside of the house. Might
That's what they
protect a
need
lot
to
of
do
it.
is
I don't know if it would protect from pressure of all that water, but it would help it at least.
They gotta that's what they need to do is just send up one of those big C-130s full of Flex Seal and just drop it on that fucking hurricane.
Actually, all they need is silica. But
All they need is what?
Silica powder. Drop silica powder from an airplane. It would absorb all the moisture and it would fall like rain.
Yeah. Well, what do you do about the winds though? See, it's a whole temperature differentials is what starts this thing.
Well, I would think that once that powdered silica absorbs moisture, right, it would become heavy and it would start to drop, and that would actually cause drag on the wind and slow down the wind.
That's a pretty cool theory. There's Jam Mango. What's up, bro?
I don't know if it would work, but it sounds like an idea.
It sounds like a cool theory, worthy of testing. I don't know if they've, but we already know that their aim is not to lessen the severity of this. It's obvious that their whole goal is they want as much of this.
Their whole goal is to scare us into thinking that God is out to get us. That's really, I think, what their goal is. Right? They want us to think the end of the world's coming.
I think it's there's going to be more and more disasters too, because right now, this is crazy. Wyoming, and again, an area rich in rare earth minerals that are on private land. In those areas, there's where did I see that? I'll bring that back up. It was 74. I'm going to repost this thing and show it in a little bit. Okay, I already got it. Let me go to where did I see that? I got to go to my place. There we go. All right. So let's see here. In Wyoming right now, there is, and here, you want to see how badly they're lying about the severity of this storm and the size? Okay. Yeah, wait till you see this. This is a picture from the ISS. Okay. This was live from the ISS. Look at this. And as they were flying over, now notice none of the clouds are really moving or anything like that, but don't pay any attention to that aspect of it. But can you believe how big that is. Look at how that's as big as some continents.
Yeah.
Now, if that was the Earth, and that was actually the shape of the Earth, that would literally take up about 1/20th of the size of the Earth. I don't think that's
Yeah.
possible, but it's
Yeah.
just my opinion.
Yeah. So, geez, Louise,
They go to lots of extremes to lie to us, bro.
that's a lot bigger than what they're showing us. So, and there's proof right there from space,
Yeah, from space.
right? That's from up there in space. And so, you can tell it's real because you can actually see the clouds are changing. And as they usually do in a hurricane type situation. what did they say, 200-mile-an-hour winds are coming off of that thing?
I think you'd see that movement on the surface, wouldn't you?
I think you'd see at least something. They said that so this was yesterday. This is crazy. So yesterday with this thing, the guy Noah Bergen, he's a weatherman. Let me bring this up. Noah Bergen is a weatherman. He says this was 8 p.m. yesterday, about 24 hours ago then, I think. Let me see. Yeah, October the 7th. Today's the 8th. Okay. He said, this is nothing short of astronomical. I am at a loss for words to meteorologically describe you the storm's small eye and intensity. 897 millibars pressure with 180 mile per hour max sustained winds and gusts 200 plus miles an hour. This is how the fourth strongest hurricane ever recorded by pressure on this side of the world. The eye is tiny at nearly 3.8 miles wide. This hurricane is nearing the mathematical limit of what Earth's atmosphere over this ocean can produce. So, I mean, look how little that eye is as opposed to the rest of it. And we've seen in the past other hurricanes, there's quite a bit bigger eye in the middle, bigger than 3.8 miles for that thing. That's just a small percentage in the middle. That's crazy shit.
Which tells us that they're feeding it, right?
I've seen some reports of a weird aircraft pattern taking place prior to its formation. All this. Now you got to also take into mind.
And there's the Doppler lighting up. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff.
But the thing I got to look at is this. Okay, they may or may not. It may be over quartz and lithium. But the fact of the matter still remains that under current legislation, if an area is deemed a disaster area and uninhabitable, it automatically falls under eminent domain.
Yeah, that's what they pulled in Santa Rosa and Paradise as well.
Yep.
The same thing.
Yep. And I think they're
Hawaii and LA. There's a couple other places too
they're going to pull the same shit in Wyoming as well. Let me find it. Let me see. This is amazing.
So my question is, why aren't we fighting this? Is there anybody on the legal side that's fighting against this?
Who do you fight?
I don't know. I mean, there's got to be somebody, right?
See, this is all done. This is all done behind the scenes while everybody's out there arguing about who's less of a shit, Kamala
trying
or
to put
Trump.
out the fires they started.
Yeah, and trying to put out the fires and hunkering down from the storms. We know that someone is doing this.
Yes.
But ultimately, who's responsible? Ultimately,
I think the devil is probably who's responsible. But that's just my opinion.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Only my opinion.
You're right on it, bro.
He wants us to believe. He wants us to think that the end is coming, and he wants us because obviously it is coming. But I'm saying he's ramping up because he's starting to do things he didn't do before. Things in the world have changed drastically.
So there were these weird pulses that came out of this thing too. Watch this.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's definitely man-made, dude.
That doesn't really.
Funny how it looks like water going down a drain, doesn't it?
It don't look real.
What I want to know is how that doesn't make any sense. It looks like there's a bunch of other ones trying to form in the circle of it. It kind of looks like, doesn't it?
What's that?
Trippy looking.
Yeah,
It kind
I
of looks
know
like
it.
it kind of looks like there's a bunch of them all mixed together and they're all just spit. You know what I mean? It kind of looks like there's other ones trying to form, but it keeps sucking it in. It's weird looking.
So that's freaking crazy.
It's definitely frequency driven. That's not a natural look, I don't think.
No. And people want to deny this. I'll put a thing, the PBD podcast, and they're on X too. They put a thing out today about Project Cirrus, and it's really good. Perhaps we'll watch it here in a little bit, because people that want to deny that the technology for this shit exists have not been paying attention. Because you've heard about Project Cirrus. That was 1947. Okay, and they learned a lot from that, and we'll watch a thing here in a little bit about that. That was that brings it all to light. People want to say, "Oh, they can't steer a hurricane. They can't do that." Listen, you better wake the fuck up. You believe, now think about this, you believe that they put people up in a little fucking house trailer up in space, and if they float around and they go back and forth all the time, no problems, right? You believe that, but you don't believe that the ability to control and manipulate weather exists, even though it's all right in front of your face. I mean, I've watched new kinds of clouds appear in the sky in my lifetime that never existed before.
Yeah, they've added like 6 to the list, haven't they? There used to be 5
Well,
types of clouds,
despite
and
the
now there's like
list,
9.
I wasn't even looking at a list. I was just noticing the different clouds that I'm like, that's really fucking weird. Why does that look
Yeah.
like my little Wi-Fi indicator on my phone? What the hell is going on? You know, that's what I was really looking at, you know, and then, you know, oh, cool, they have names for it. I think the one they call it now is they're not chemtrails, they're Homo Cirrus, which just means man-made cloud.
Man-made cloud.
It's like, yeah, we know, and it's not a cloud. Clouds are water vapor. That shit that you're putting out is kind of like smoke. It's particles of shit, and we're not supposed to do that. Dumbasses. I don't know, man. I'm trying to find that thing on Wyoming here real quick. Yeah, there was another chopper pulled its bullshit too. Another helicopter pulled its bullshit too. Is this the one? Yeah, there's part of the thing on it. There's really some dramatic shit showing deer or elk rather running through these flames, man, and it's yeah, here it is. This is
poor people.
Look at this. This is in Wyoming. Those poor things, man. Where they go? They don't know where to fucking go. Look at that rack on that sucker. Wow, is that ever a majestic beast?
They don't know where to fucking go. Yeah, I feel bad, dude. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? And it says half of Wyoming is burning right now. And nearly 73,000 acres of the Bighorn National Forest are now on fire. The previous largest fire recorded in the forest's 100-year history topped out at around 18,000 acres and took weeks to grow that size. Over the weekend, the elk fire grew more than 25,000 acres in a matter of hours. A matter of hours. Bigger than the one that it was the largest recorded fire in their 100-year history, 18,000 acres. And it took weeks for it to get that big. This thing outgrew that fire in a matter of hours. That's fucking amazing. What are they pulling, man? What are they pulling? You know, it's something, you know, down in my heart. You know, I'm like, they're pulling some bullshit. Look at this. Here's from the air. Wildlife habitats going up in smoke, and they're going to say it's climate change. Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Where'd you go, Rye guy?
Like the fucking chemtrail shit and everything. So rude.
Check this out. This is that's just what the hell is going on? They're just tearing our shit up, man. Really bad. Really bad. And more stuff is coming out, man. More and more stuff is coming out. You know, it's like hard to, see.
It's crazy. It's going so fast. Everything is. So always getting crazier and crazier.
Now, here's supposedly a big Chinook helicopter did the same thing in North Carolina, a North Carolina relief camp, caused $100,000 in damages, and sent 3 people to the hospital. I mean, this is, come on, watch this shit.
Going on.
Don't need that music. Drama sound.
I'm back, soldiers. Cool.
Look at that.
What goes on here?
Just blowing shit everywhere. Sent 3 people to the hospital. Look at that.
Wow.
Jesus.
Area.
What, and for what purpose? And why would the media censor it? That's what you got to wonder. See those little spots in the air? Those are just little pieces of debris and shit flying around from it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I don't know. And
Assholes.
Then the cut, yeah.
Assholes.
That's all what they show.
Yeah, I'll repost the link. Where'd you go? Which link did you want, Ryan? Where'd you go? Come on back up. Where'd you go? Yeah, this woman right here. People are waking up. People are waking up all over the place. They're realizing what the hell is going on. Listen to this shit.
The tragedy in North Carolina is just highlighting the fact that the government is nothing but violent middlemen, just geriatric criminals who basically do nothing but step in between the interactions of average Americans to justify their existence. People always say, we need the government, they protect us, yet you can't sell lemonade without a permit, you can't braid hair or feed the homeless without a license, and you can't help people stuck in a disaster zone without food, water, medical care, without the threat of arrest. We have Americans with resources, helicopters, boats, supplies, and the gumption to get it done, who are being threatened with arrest if they continue to try to help or rescue people. Why? Well, because the government needs to justify its existence in order to keep existing. It's not about helping people. It's about letting everyone know we're the ones that keep you safe from the world. They can't have average citizens helping each other, because if they did, then the average citizens might look around and go, hey, we actually got this done in way less time, way less money, and way more efficiently than we've ever seen the government do anything. So why are we paying you again? Why are we listening to you again? Why are we allowing you to lord over us again? Why are we allowing you to threaten us with violence again? Why are we allowing you to send all of our resources to places like Ukraine and Israel again, all while our fellow Americans suffer? Yeah, the government can't have that. They thrive on the power that they siphon from our daily interactions and disasters like North Carolina, all while telling us it's for our own good. They need us to need them, and they'll do whatever it takes to maintain that dependency, even if it's the threat of violence or throwing you in a cage, even if it's allowing Americans to waste away in a disaster zone just for the sake of saving face. The next time you hear a politician talking about the greater good and working for you and public service, just remember the fact that the only reason why they exist is because you have to depend on them. And the only reason why you have to depend on them is because they made that happen via violence. And the kicker, some people just can't stop begging for more. We hand over our freedom, our income, our lives, all because we've been sold a lie that we can't manage without them. When they're making helping people unlawful, you should really start thinking about all the laws.
That is true. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. Government is force. Government is nothing but violence when it comes down to
It's
the.
your enemy. It's not
Yes, and
really
tragedy.
your enemy.
Yeah, I don't see anything that they. I can't. I exist and I am able to thrive despite my government, not because of it. And that's not a good position to be in, really.
I also, we have in Austria now everywhere this right push, to the right side. Yes,
Well, you
not
get
to
into
the,
these pricks that think that they can just run everything,
like
like this guy, like this entitled guy, this Mr.
the
Conehead.
people wants to have these people, these rude ones, and
You know who that old man right there is?
Which
yeah,
one? Left
here
or
in
right?
Austria it's very pushed.
One on the left.
No, the right side, the right side.
I don't know.
On the left-hand side there, that's Nathan Rothschild.
Oh,
I,
I was gonna say.
I'm,
Now listen to what he's got. Or Jacob Rothschild. Thank you, Shannon.
Nathan who? Who's that?
Not
Not me.
in modern Jewish history, and it begins with 3 words.
Child. Yeah.
Dear Lord Rothschild.
Dear Lord Rothschild, I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet.
Why was it that this letter was sent by the Foreign Secretary to your great uncle Walter?
It's an interesting question because it was primarily a movement from Eastern Europe, but they didn't clarify who was in charge of that movement. And in addition, it was, after all, in Great Britain. So they felt that the Rothschild family should be the one to whom it was addressed. And Walter was Lord Rothschild, and he was a Zionist. And those really are the background reasons.
So Walter received the Balfour Declaration, and I have a copy here. And I wonder if I could possibly ask you to read it for us.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm going to put on my spec.
The Balfour Declaration is basically, the king says, hey, here, we're just going to give you somebody's country. Ha! Here you go. Have fun.
To make sure I read it accurately.
This decrepit old fucker thinks that he's better than you. Okay? Because he's been told that his whole life and he's got a lot of money. It runs a lot of industry, a lot of the banking and everything. So he thinks that he's got a right to decide whether you live or die, to decide whether your country is devastated by war or not. I mean,
these are insane people.
Well, who's really insane? The people that think that they have that right, or all of us out here that just accept it?
Yeah,
think about that.
The other side. That's the other side.
Yeah, there's all these other people. This guy says, "Oh, I'm better than you, and I'm this great guy and everything. I'm better than you," and everybody just kind of goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure you are. Right on."
Today a big discussion was one about the politics, because all vote for the blue ones now, what closes the how you call it, the state Grenzen, the borders, what closes the borders,
Oh yeah, that's part of the communist agenda. That's how you destroy the identity. Is you have mass immigration. They try to take it seriously by send us your. Look at our Statue of Liberty. Pretty much says, hey, you got trash? Send it here.
Like in the past, it was also like Hitler started also like that,
Why is everybody trying to get
insane laws,
Yeah, well, look, here's one. There's one guy who just because he was born into a position thinks that he can just give a fucking country to somebody else.
His Majesty's government view with favour the establishment of Palestine as a national home for the Jewish people, and will use their best endeavours to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine, or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. I should be grateful if you would bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. Yours, Arthur Balfour.
And here it is, the Balfour Declaration. What do you feel when you see it here?
Sure, he said the Zionist Federation. Zionist Federation. We're going to get into that here in a minute.
Genuinely feel it's one of the most extraordinary moments in the history of the Jewish people. If you think it took 3,000 years to get to this. And then you say, how did this miracle happen? It's the most incredible piece of opportunism. I mean, if you think you had an impoverished would-be scientist, Chaim Weizmann, who somehow gets to England, meets a few people, including members of my family, seduces them. He has such great charm.
It looked like Ben Kingsley, didn't it? The actor.
And conviction. He gets to Balfour, and he unbelievably persuades Balfour and Lloyd George, the Prime Minister, and most of the ministers, that this idea of the national home for Jews should be allowed to take place. I mean, it's so unlikely. Then he's, starts to fight a difficult battle with the British cabinet, and this letter goes through 5 drafts, as you know. And in the end, it comes out as a rather compromising letter. I mean, the essential point is there for the Jewish community to fasten on to. You have the first bit, which promises a national home rather than the national home. And then you have the bit that nothing that's to be done should in any way harm the Arab community. But you come back to the big point, which is that this is perhaps the greatest event in Jewish life for thousands of years. And it's a miracle.
See, wow. So that's pretty much the start of that. But you have to look into, where did I have that? Let me get that. Oh my goodness. Shit's all
Really got the good stuff.
Hang on. I'm looking for him. That's Stu Peters' thing. Yeah, that's see Project, Storm Fury. Hang on.
I think the Royals are a pain in the butt too, so I agree with you.
Well, of course they are. Yeah, Ken O'Keefe. Ken O'Keefe, he put this thing on there. He says, this is where, now remember, pay attention, because in that letter it said for the Zionist Federation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where did the Zionist Federation come from? Now you've got people openly talking about, like even Biden, I'm proud to be a Zionist. You don't have to be Jewish to be a Zionist, blah, 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 right? Okay. So this is basically where it comes from.
In the 1800s, Theodor Herzl, the father of Zionism, worked with Karl Marx, who's the father of communism. That's not his real name. His real name is Moses Mordecai Levy, who's descended from a long line of Talmudic Jews. I'm not making this up. They worked with financiers. They created Zionism. They created Bolshevism. They created communism. And they laid out a plan to take over the Holy Land. Now, the Rothschilds started buying Jerusalem in the early 1800s. Again, this is not my opinion. This is fact, verifiable fact for those that care about truth and want to know history. So, the Rothschilds, as early as the early 1800s, started using their usury banking money to buy Jerusalem. in synchronicity with that, you had Theodore Herzl, Moses Mordecai Levy, and other prominent Jews being financed by Rothschilds and Rockefeller elites in New York that were sending money. None of these people had any connection to this land. And they used this trope of them returning in a biblical fashion to the land. The real intention is not just for what we see as Israel. The real intention is for what's known as Greater Israel. Greater Israel encompasses all of the land from the river Euphrates all the way down to the river Nile in Egypt. So we're talking parts of Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. From the river Euphrates up in the north to the river Nile in the south, going inland all the way into Saudi and whatnot, coming across directly. That's Greater Israel. The next empire to inherit this mantle, which America sort of, at least as most people recognize it, it was the British Empire, became America. I would argue that's not true. The actual power is here in London. The city of London is the seat of power, but America became the muscle. Before that, England was both the money and the muscle. It did, from its naval power. That's how England was able to do it. But in the nuclear age, post World War II, America became the power, the muscle. But if you're telling me that Washington, D.C. is no, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not. They got their piece of the pie. They get to go ahead and spread the spoils. But its power is right here.
So you can see that the Bolshevism, Marxism, all of that, along with Zionism, is all from the same place. This is probably one of the reasons that you see such a brutal regime that runs Israel right now, especially by keeping a second-class citizenship of Palestinians out there. Holy crap, dude. Would you roll a great big old joint? Jeez.
In the 1800s.
Man. So yeah, that's I thought that you want to see something funny. This would be hilarious to do. This is a great prank. This is a great prank. Watch this. I don't even know. I'll go ahead and show it. Fuck it. This is funny as hell. No, I better not. YouTube's really getting nanny statey.
I was gonna say you're trying to get it pulled already.
Yeah. But this is pretty cool. Here's a guy. He ran across a politician out in public. And apparently somebody who's done dealings with the WEF and as well as China. And this guy got to meet him out in public. This is pretty crazy, man. You know, this is what people need to start doing, I think. Watch this.
You Steve Sisolak, right? That's amazing. I can't tell you what a piece of fucking shit you are. Sorry to hear that. You New World Order traitor piece of shit bastard. You're in here without security? Woo! Yeah, you piece of shit. I'm surprised you have the balls to be out here in public, punk. Out here without a cop, out here without security? Woo! You got balls on you, boy. I'm not moving.
Wait till we find all the money that George is waiting.
Oh, man.
Yeah, hiding the hydroxychloroquine.
Oh, you in trouble. Yeah, you better get the fuck out of here, Sisolak.
Probably a good idea to go somewhere else.
Where's your security at, punk? Huh? Where's your... don't touch me, lady. Where's your security at? Huh? You want to sell us all down the river? You working for China, piece of shit? You fucking traitors. We should string you up by lampposts right now, pussy boy.
Fucking look at it, dumbass.
That's right, Patriot. You running into a Patriot now, huh? Huh? Where's your security at? I heard about you banging that little girl in record
the television, dude.
Huh, Steve? Mr. Sisolak?
Fucking watch TV.
Craziness, China working, cock-sucking motherfucker.
The
Where's your security at, bitch? Woo! You lucky I'm a law-abiding citizen. Woo!
My buddy here is asking me who that guy is.
With you, I'm going to leave you alone now.
you think he is?
I can't see it, Brian.
What did he say his name was? Hold on, listen.
You Steve Sisolak, right?
Steve Sisolak.
Steve
Sisolak. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I mean, these people are everywhere. They're in your local government. Soros money has come in and bought out so many of your local government people, all the way up the line. You know that the majority of our federal government is in their fucking pocket. You know that. And they're also, who else's pocket are they into? Israel. Through the APEC. You're not going to get into office if you do not get your APEC money. Listen, Donnie knows it. Donnie knows it. Here he is at some anniversary of some Jewish guy's death, and here he is with his little thing, wearing his little beanie. Check him out.
What's that APEC money?
America, Israel, political action campaign.
Okay.
And it's a Jewish lobby that provides a huge amount of money in donorship to politicians.
No. Yeah, the Jewish.
And so we also have a great deal. I think it's like 1/3. Is it 1/3 or 2/3 of our elected Congress and Senate and shit have dual citizenship with Israel?
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
I mean, I wouldn't want to be associated with that outfit. Not a bit. You know.
Yeah. Also, I made a mistake because I didn't went to the vote. They count me like to the biggest to the biggest winning how you call it,
bidder.
To the biggest winner. Yeah.
Well, it's like this. It's like this.
Automatically, yes. This
if you give a huge amount of money to both candidates,
yeah,
right? Whoever gets in, listen. Whoever gets in is your man, right? You pay both candidates a huge amount of money. You know, maybe favor one over another one a little bit more, but they're both sides are getting money from APEC. So it's not party oriented.
Yeah.
It's allegiance to Israel oriented. You took the fucking
I was
money.
gonna say they only let you in there if you have allegiance to that.
That's right. They have to sign. They have to sign an unconditional pledge a pledge to unconditionally support Israel. This is why every time they're asked when Israel acts shitty and does something stupid, this is why their only response to it is, Israel is a democratic ally in the Middle East of ours. You know, it's our closest ally in the Middle East, or some bullshit. All they'll fucking say. And it's like, yeah, but they're doing this terrible shit to people. Well, here's a question. It doesn't matter. We have to support Israel. Wait a second. You have to support Israel. I don't. You took the fucking shekels, not me. I didn't take the shekels. You did. And if you're doing it, then you're not representing me. And I guess by default, your job is you're not doing your job. And as you can see by the way most Americans feel in this late day and age, they're not towing the Israel line anymore. Most people are like, fuck all that. We don't care. Your little spell is wearing off.
It's a sad war, you know, for Palestine, you know.
Well, not just them, but Lebanon, Iran, Syria, every country around them, Yemen.
Sorry.
Yemen, Syria, all of those places are suffering because of this shit.
Yeah. Sad.
But it can only happen if the people sanction it. That's the only the reality of it. I mean, you have to put people in suits to go fight, right? What if everybody says no? We don't want to fight. We don't want to fight. You want to fight? Why don't you go over there and fight then?
But they come and bring you weapons and stuff and everything. They're not stupid.
I'll fight.
That'd be the thing. Come and give you weapons, then you turn around and
I'll
say,
fight.
"Okay, thanks for the weapon. Get
Give
off
me a
my
good reason to
fucking."
fight. I'll do it.
I
Thanks for the
I
gun. Get off
wouldn't
my
make a
porch.
shot for my
Yeah,
land.
yeah. Thanks for the gun. Get off my
I
porch.
wouldn't
Yeah,
make a shot for my land.
That's where I'd be at. I'd be like, "Thanks for the gun, bitch. Get off my porch." So we spoke a little bit earlier about this project Cirrus, and there's a lot of people
Does it
that.
work? Got some ammo. Oh, get off my porch.
Yeah. Thanks for the gun. Get off my porch. What is this thing? My wife just sent me some kind of thing here. What's this? People trying to get through in Florida, it looks like. Let me see if I can get it to work. There we go. Hold on.
Shannon has a good point.
Oh, shit. I wish she'd send some information about it with it. I don't know what it is. It just shows a bunch of people holding onto a rope walking through some water. I have no idea what the context of it is, if it's the hurricane or anything. Let me see if I can find out. Where the hell did she go? There she is. Let me see. I'm gonna say context. Jeez, it's just people walking in water. I don't know what those fucking people are doing. Anyway, we were talking about Project Cirrus earlier, and I've had this idiot on Twitter trying to deny that there was anything to that. Oh no, they even came out and said that was a natural pattern. Well, when you find out why they ended up saying it was a natural pattern, you'll understand why. The scientists were all glad that they were able to steer the storm. And when they admitted they were responsible for it, the government boys stepped in and said, no, shh, you weren't. This always does this. Look the other way, because they were looking at all potential lawsuits and shit.
No.
Okay. Yeah. And this guy says, see, that's why that means that. And I'm like, you so dumb, you can't even see the trees, man. You can't see the forest because of the trees. You're so limited in your goddamn thinking. And it just pisses me off. He's just another one of these condescending little shits. And Twitter that's why I don't really interact with anybody on Twitter. I just find cool shit.
They make this with these harp systems and everything. They pushes the storms this way and
yeah. So I don't even interact with anybody really on Twitter because most of the people on Twitter are just fucking assholes. They really are. They're just assholes.
I don't look Twitter.
They're a lot of little demonic little shits.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stay away from there. Nobody can say anything nice. No one. The first thing that comes up as soon as you put up a post is some fucking little shit asshole gonna say some fucking nasty fucking negative shit.
That's
I just
true.
ignore them. Yeah. I mean, and Twitter's just covered with that shit. That's all it is. Damn near. It's a fucking trailer park.
Sure.
Anyway, it's podcast PBB. Well,
Yeah, we need to make some changes to that.
There's YouTube better.
There's a catastrophe in somewhere that the government can just come in and take over. That's just not even cool. Period.
Well, yeah. While everybody was sleeping, and while everybody was concerned about how many blowjobs Bill Clinton got, they were quietly passing this legislation for this kind of shit. And nobody noticed. And they always sneak it through there by calling them farm bills. You think it's about the agriculture and the farm. It's not. You're the chattel. You're the farm. That's what you got to understand. Watch my son's channel. You'll get it.
Yeah.
Give me the link, please. So
for the corporate fiction. Yeah, if one of my mods could go ahead. Could put Ryan's channel. What?
Didn't you say your son have a channel?
Yes, and I'm asking someone to put the link in the chat for you.
Okay, thanks for that. Gotcha.
So the PBD podcast. had posted this today. It's Project Cirrus, U.S. government secret hurricane manipulation program. And I think this is interesting because people get misled, but you got to understand the whole context of everything that occurred. You know, a lot of times too, these people love to take history out of context, but pay attention to what's going on.
Here's a question I got. How much access to information do you think the director of CIA has?
Anything he's ever wants.
Tom, how much access to information do you think the director of CIA has?
Everything, and plus he can make it up.
Let me, I don't, by the way, I can tell you, I don't appreciate the fact that CBS and the director of CIA decided to flirt with a conspiracy, because I don't like that they're doing that. But if they want to take responsibility for this, they can. Let me give you an idea what Brennan says. Can you pull up what Brennan once said the following? The head of CIA, the former head of CIA, said the following. He says, we currently have the technology with the potential to alter weather patterns. His words, not my words. He said this. Is this it, Rob? What I'm saying that?
I believe so.
Okay. So these are his words. Go ahead and play this clip.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI, a method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat.
Now, for all you out there, those are those chemtrails that you say don't exist. Okay.
Yeah, those are the ones that you claim that I'm full of crap about all my videos. Yeah, good luck.
Right. The Homo Cirrus. Homo Cirrus, they're called.
In much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures and providing the world economy additional time to transition from fossil fuels.
Right.
Wow. This process is also relatively inexpensive. The National Research Council estimates that a fully deployed SAI program would cost about $10 billion yearly.
Right.
As promising as it may be, moving forward on SAI would also raise a number of challenges for our government and for the international community. On the technical side, greenhouse gas emission reductions would still have to accompany SAI to address other climate change effects, such as ocean acidification, because SAI alone would not remove greenhouse gases from the atmosphere.
Can you move this? I don't know if this is
on the
clip, I'm just trying. Go find a clip. Just type the keywords. Technologies potential to alter weather pattern. And if you can just go on Google, forget about Twitter. Twitter doesn't work well when we do searches like that. Weather pattern. Yeah, if you can do that, and you will find right there, second one, click on that. I just want to show the clip, the quote, okay? Show the quote that he says. So Brennan's words, if you can type in pattern, Control F pattern, there you go. The technology's potential to alter weather patterns and benefit certain regions of the world at the expense of other regions could trigger sharp opposition by some nations, right? Okay. So I went a little bit deeper with this. I'm like, wait a minute, what is this all about? Then you know what we found out? Do you know there was an act in 1976 called the Weather Modification Act of 1976?
No.
Can you Google that, please?
1976.
I have that file, by the way, if anybody wants it.
1976. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? Oh, they can't modify the weather. Oh.
This is, again, not me. This is the U.S. government came up with something called the National Weather Modification Policy Act of 1976. You know what this is about? This was about if any company is participating to try to alter and modify the weather, you have to give us a warning 10 days in advance. This is what they came up with, by the way. Okay? It's called the Weather Modification Policy Act of 1976. Let's go even deeper. Can you do me a favor and type in Operation Cyrus 70-year anniversary? Type in Operation 70-year anniversary. Craziest article, by the way. Did you see it or no? This one we have to read because it's a little bit weird. But
this thing goes back to 1947, I think.
It goes back to 1920 something when they first started working with it. But the stuff that you're going to see, like government documents, didn't come till a couple years after. So that's why.
I have to read it to you. I found it here, Rob. It's called the 7. And by the way, what is crazy about this is the following. This is by far what's crazy about it the most. Pull up the clip I just sent you. This is from the website of NOAA. This is not a blog, folks. This is from the Department of Commerce, Atlantic Oceanographic and Meteorological Laboratory. Okay? My pronunciation is phenomenal today. 70-year anniversary of the first hurricane seeding experiment. What?
That's a B-17. Okay, that's a B-17 there in the background. It looks like it's a G model. No, it might be an F model.
Check this out too. I got this document here I want to show you. Can you read it?
Hearings.
This is the hearings that they did. This is the paperwork that goes with what he's talking about. This is the paperwork that it's on a file.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hearing on the weather modification, and this is what the stuff they wrote down afterwards. And there's a big thing on it. There's like let's see, how many pages is it? I don't know. 43 pages of it. Goes through all in great detail what they did and what they talked about.
Of Operation Project Cyrus. You go a little lower. I'll read the top and I'll go to the bottom paragraph below the chart. On the afternoon of October 13, 1947, an Air Force B-17 aircraft penetrated a hurricane 450 miles east of Jacksonville and dumped several pounds of crushed dry ice into the storm just to see what would happen. This was the first attempt to modify a tropical cyclone by seeding it with freezing nuclei. It was almost the last. Watch this. GE was involved in this, just so you know.
Wow.
You guys can read the rest of the article. Go down to the bottom right after the chart. Let's read it from right here. The scientists were eager to examine the storm the following day. However, when they flew to predict the storm location, they had trouble locating the eye. After some hunting around, they found the hurricane center nearly 100 miles west of where they expected it to be. To their astonishment, the hurricane had made a 135-degree left turn and was now moving due west. On top of that, it was strengthening. By the afternoon of the 15th, Hurricane King struck Savannah, Georgia. One person died. In the storm surged $2 million in damages. The public was outraged that the scientists had caused the storm to swerve into Georgia, and threats of lawsuits were thrown around. GE's case was not helped when the head of their laboratories of GE, Dr. Irving Langmuir, issued a statement that he was 99% sure the storm had changed course due to the seeding. The chief of weather government, this is government now, chief of weather bureau, Dr. Francis, thought differently and appointed 3 of his weathermen to find a case where a hurricane had followed a similar track but had not been seeded. The case was published, demonstrating that hurricanes could swerve like that without the use of dry ice, and the threat of lawsuits eventually evaporated. What's the point here? Imagine you work for GE. You're the head of their laboratory, and they say, no, we did it.
Wow.
GE's like, what is the matter with you? Be quiet. You can't say we did it, right? But the government's chief bureau comes out and says, no, we checked it out. The man didn't influence this. What's my point here? Here's where I'm going with this. 7-year anniversary, go read that article. All I'm saying is this. You mean to tell me we don't have the technology at this point in 2024 with all the inventions that we've created to find a way to kill these things and slow them down? You mean we don't? I'm not even talking about creating it.
Which is on the table
Which
as well.
we know we can create it.
Course.
CBS host who just was debating, what is her name? Have you seen the CBS
Nora.
clip with Michio Kaku? She said, we've done this.
Yeah.
Right? She said, we've done this. It's not even us. That's the lady who was on the debate with, the what do you call it? I think she was on the VP debate, if I'm not mistaken. This is the interview. Watch this clip.
It's a bad version of it. Just so
Okay, then don't worry about it. Anyways, so they're even saying that these things happen in the past. She claimed that these things happen in the past. This is her 11 years ago. Forget about creating it. What I'm asking about is, in 2024, we don't have a way to prevent these things?
Yeah, we can flawlessly go back and forth to the space station and send up little magical garbage cans and fly around the earth and all kinds of shit like that, right?
Check this out. In this file, if you want to hear it.
Yeah, we're at a loss when it comes to this here. We can't do nothing. There's nothing. Get the fuck on.
I was reading this document I was talking about. You want to hear what it says in here about experiments conducted? It's just a short couple paragraphs. It says, for 2 years, we carried out experiments in the Southern Sierra for the Bureau of Reclamation. Later, we cooperated with them in an effort conducted by Fresno State College to increase the snowpack and the rainfall for Central Sierra Nevada. For 7 years, we have been conducting through a contractor, North American Weather Consultants. That's one of the companies I called, I think. And with help from the Bureau of Reclamation and Rainfall Augmentation Experiment in the Santa Barbara area. The works has gradually passed from experiments with single clouds to whole groups of clouds and to components of storm systems. Senator Pell, I read it last night. Mr. St. Amand, I will highlight it to show. Okay, they're just going into talks, but they're literally admitting that they've been doing this. I've got all kinds of documents on this, dude. Yeah, it's definitely proven and it's real. It's not a joke and it's not paranoia. Or
it's definitely. I believe that it's
it may not be what you know the movies talk about, but it's definitely something they control and they are actively doing it. Yes.
And the reality of it is this too, though, whether it man-made or actually a bizarre natural phenomenon, there's still people involved here, and this is what's really bad. The human cost involved. We've got people that we know here that are right there in the middle of it, and it's coming. Austin Thompson, Melodome, him and his family are stuck right in the middle of this. He said, evacuate. We were trying to tell him, get out of there. And he said, get the hell out of here. What are you talking about? The roads are gridlocked. He said, people are reporting it took him 10 hours to go 115 miles. 10 hours.
10 hours.
That's fucking crazy, man. And, and I think that's one of the plans too, is to gridlock everybody in their fucking cars. It's easier to dispatch them. What was that woman said? I'll find it. The guy misspoke. He talked about
oh yeah, they've done that.
Instead of saying evacuate people,
terminate.
He said to execute
or something. Yeah.
To execute these victims. I mean, to evacuate. And I was like, oh my God, is that a Freudian slip? I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, and FMX is down there as well. Few other people. Some of our adversaries, Red's Rhetoric, he's down there in that bullshit too. Ted Logan on Facebook or on Twitter, and he's been on the show before. He's down in the middle of this shit too. So this is no joke. These people can't get out. Many of them, even if they want to. They say all the gas stations are empty. All the gas stations are empty. So what's that going to cause? That's going to be cars running out of gas right there on the fucking freeway, bro. What's that?
I got another file here. It's called a recommended national program in weather modification report. A report to the Interdepartmental Committee for Atmospheric Sciences by Homer E. Newell, whoever he is. And this is wow. There's a lot of people's names on this.
What is that? What is that, Barbara, that you got on there?
The government fund. Well, yeah. I was gonna say I should try to share some of these with you. Give me your email, Dave, and I'll send you some of the stuff. You might not have it in your collection if you're curious.
I'm gonna give everybody my email right now.
Yeah. I'd be willing to share it with anybody that sends me an email. I don't have a problem with that. But I got lots of stuff like that in here. That's one of the things I've researched the most was the weather. After I watched two towns that I've lived near or in. Like I used to live like right near Santa Rosa when I was a kid, and I lived in Redding, so I know, and I know people that live in Paradise. So it's like it was really like personal to me when I saw that those fires happen and the way all the stuff happened and the things that were on the internet. It just
I had just passed through Paradise right before it burned up.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I knew there were fires and all the traffic was being diverted different ways and shit. And I got around some ways where there were bulldozers just clearing the road and I could get through. But yeah, I mean, I got through there. I went through Paradise and I thought to myself, I was like, man, I should have stopped and got a drink. And because I didn't. And I I kept on down the road, and then a little while later, I'd heard about the fire engulfing Paradise on the radio. I was like, "What the fuck? I was just there."
You lucky, bro. God was looking
That was
out for
crazy.
you that day. That's
Barbara
for sure.
sent this thing. This was it's already caused devastation after making Hurricane Set.
And of
She
course, I'm
said
not saying
that
that they deliberately did this. I'm just saying, what if they're tampering with the weather and they caused it accidentally? Like, what if this hurricane was because they were doing something else somewhere else and it caused this because they were tapping into some kind of whatever? I mean, we don't know. I'm not a weather expert, but I know enough about it to understand how it works. But I don't know, like, you know, I'm not a a weather person or nothing. I can't, I'm not a meteorologist, but yeah, I do understand a lot of how it works because I've done a lot of research on it. But
like that girl that was trying to float that story about where they were doing that road work in New York, and she goes, "There was an earthquake, and look at this stuff is separated. You can see where the road's been separated." And I was like, and did the earthquake also stack the bricks up next to the fucking road where they were taken out from too? Right. And she goes, "No, I'm no Scientologist or anything." But I was like, "Well, that's good. You're not a Scientologist." Oh my God. Or an earthquakeologist.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't screw that one up.
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm looking on here for everybody's hitting Austin with all kinds of shit about weather patents and shit. And he's saying it doesn't mean this one was engineered. And I'm thinking, signs are pointing to that it was, but who's to say? I don't know. I'm not a Scientologist, right?
And if we do, why are we not using them? Why not? Why are we not using some of these things to manipulate them to go a different way? I don't know. It's purely a question. But the more and more and more digging you do on government websites, they tell you, we have access to this. We've been working on this. And even the director of CIA says, we have something like this to work with. Tom.
Well, I think we all misunderstood the guy from GE. The guy from GE was paid to work in a lab to modify the weather, right?
Yes.
At the end of the year, you get your performance review to see if you get a raise or you get a bonus. And so what does he say? It worked. We did it. We partnered with the government. We put a bunch of dry ice in a B-17. We went up there and dropped this all, hyper-cooled the center of the storm. The storm turned. The next day, we went out looking for the storm. It was 100 miles over there. We're like, uh-oh, it turned west. But this guy is basically saying we have to understand this. He's saying, I work in a lab for GE on weather modification. It worked. So he wasn't being a whistleblower. He was just saying, well, this is my job, and it worked, and it turned toward there. Whereas now the government is like, no. Project Mockingbird and all these other things and the electric Kool-Aid acid test, we would never do such a thing.
Right. Yeah, they totally never put LSD in nobody's drinks. Real quick, somebody asked when it was supposed to make landfall. I looked it up, and it says late Wednesday or very early Thursday is when this thing is supposed to make landfall. Yeah, the government wouldn't do shit like that. Come on, they're your friend, right?
They're out to
you noticed how
save you from being taxed and over tyrannized. Of course they are. Of course. Why wouldn't
they provide government approved fun zones for you to go to and shit with your family where you can have to follow a bunch of draconian rules while trying to have fun at the same time?
More like camping.
Yes. They're awful. I swear to God. And it's like, I know somewhere in my heart that this whole fucking bullshit's going to dissolve, and I'm just like, good God, I can't wait for it. I'm just so tired of the bullshit, and that's all they are is bullshit. That's all they do is just fucking, they're just there to piss you off continuously. Can you name one thing the government does that doesn't fucking piss you off? No, nobody can.
No.
That's what they're there. That's their job, is just to continuously piss you off.
Well,
and screw you.
Their ultimate goal is to take away all your rights slowly
Well, yeah.
and carefully. and plottingly, because they're trying to convince us that we don't need anything except the government to protect us, which we all know that's not true.
That's
We
right.
should all
Everybody,
know
all the trees trusted the axe because its handle was made of wood, right? That's the way to look
Right.
at that shit.
That's a good one.
That's what I think.
That one,
And so the government comes out and goes, no, hang on. Meanwhile, they had already been trying that stuff previously in Vietnam, trying to extend the rainy season. So, and it's like sometimes experiments go bad, Remember the Bikini Atoll?
What's that?
That's where they launched a nuclear bomb and gave a bunch of military guys cancer
and irradiated a bunch of Japanese fishermen in the process. And this was what the movie Godzilla was a metaphor for. Godzilla represented the United States, big, stupid, clumsy, and angry. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, because that was a metaphor for that whole incident at the Bikini Atoll.
Things like this.
Yeah, that's what I tell them.
So we've done a lot of tests in our day and kind of messed people up in the process.
And that's why when people, Pat, like you bring this up, and there's people out there, because I've seen it, because I've had these conversations, especially with Brandon. People are like, "What? Oh, now you're trying to say?" I'm like, yes, I'm talking about that same government that did what you're talking about. That gave LSD to our soldiers, that experiment with mind altering MK Ultra type stuff. It happens, Pat. Then you have to ask the question, like, what's besides not being able to stop it, them creating it, because mind you, these are the same people that are saying, hey, this is because of climate change, are actually the ones changing the climate. They're the ones that can do it.
Allegedly. I'm not saying that's the case.
I'm just saying, allegedly
I'm
as well.
not there.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm at is the following. I'm at Harvard in 2015 at this OPM program I went to, Owner President Management Program. I've never gone to Harvard as a student. My GPA was 1.8. This is not, I went to Harvard.
Yeah.
I've been to many universities, but I was just there partying.
But when I'm there, one of my classmates, Finney, was from Lagos, Tom. One of my classmates was from Lagos. 8 of us were asked to go up and present a certain project we're working on to raise money.
Yeah.
He was one of them, I was one, and 6 other guys went up. This guy got up and he says, I have invented that with $100 million investment into a plant, I can build and produce water from thin air. And he wasn't kidding. And shows this video, and you say, wow. He says, yeah. And then I'm watching the room. I'm not in the water making business.
Yeah.
I'm in the insurance business. And I'm like, yeah, that technology's been around. Yeah, that technology. And everybody starts talking. So the concern with water is we have the technology to be able to make it. There are plenty of advanced technologies for us to be able to do a lot of different things. Why are we not testing it and using it? Maybe we are. And if we are and they're not telling us, maybe that's what's also causing something that's 120 miles to go to 185 miles.
Yep.
Maybe they're doing that. We don't know that, right? So these are some of the things that maybe the government doesn't want us to know because they don't want to freak us out. Yep. And sometimes some projects, some assignments get,
And remember what happened in Dubai, like 3 months
flooding.
ago? It was the worst
because they're cloud seeding.
I'm glad he brought that up about Dubai, because that's crazy. That's in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't turn it off. They create their own rain, and they somehow couldn't get it to turn off. It just kept raining and raining and raining, and it flooded out Dubai. That was insane. A flood in the fucking Arabian desert. Wow.
Well,
and then when people
it says in Revelation that will happen. So
yeah,
I know it's man doing it maybe, but it's still been predicted. It's been prophesied. I mean,
or is this shit? Is it
Bible?
Is this prophecy shit that's actually happening, and they're just trying to take credit for it?
I don't know. Yeah, that's what I wonder is either they're trying to make us think that the end is coming before it has, or the opposite. They're trying to convince us. They're trying to what do they call that? Sensitize us so that we don't take it seriously. Like we just keep thinking that just happened somewhere else and it's not affecting me. So, and that's basically what we've done. They've compartmentalized us to where, something can be happening in a couple counties over, and we may not even really care that much about it because it's happening over there, right? We don't see it. We don't, and they're going on TV. So it's easy to keep us from really knowing what's going on right next to us. That's what worries me, is that they have such control over that. It scares me.
Yeah, yeah, and people will want to believe this shit so badly. Like during the pandemic, I said to people, I was like, "Well, haven't you wondered how come our local hospital up here isn't overwhelmed? It's a small hospital."
It
And they
emptied
said,
out.
"Oh,
Everybody
it's because they sent everybody to Harrisonburg." And I'm like,
No.
"Oh." Then you go to
It's because
Harrisonburg,
people
they
were
go tell you,
afraid of
"Oh, we
getting
sent
accused of
everybody to
having it.
fucking we
That's
sent
why.
everybody to Richmond or some shit like that, or everybody died." Yeah, that's it. Crazy bastards.
Well, that's what they were testing it for, to see how we would react. And when the
Yeah.
hospitals emptied out, they realized that that's the control they have. See,
Yeah.
we just gave it up to them. What we
It
should
was
have
an
done.
IQ test.
But
It
you know
was
what's
an
funny is that my wife
it
had
was-
to get surgery during this time, right after this happened, right after they started not letting people in the emergency room. And I tried to go in there and bring her in there in a wheelchair, and they stopped me and they told me I couldn't come in there. And I almost got upset, but of course I wasn't about to ruin the chances of my wife getting a surgery and stuff. So I went along with it. But man, it would freak me out when they wouldn't even let me go in with her.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And I did walk right into the very beginning. I made that door open, and they met me there. But there was nobody in the ER, and there's always people in the ER. I don't care what time of day you go to any hospital. There's somebody in the ER. This place was empty.
So it wasn't a safety protocol; it was a cover-up protocol.
It was a cover-up protocol. That's what I said. Yeah, exactly.
And every one of those fucking people needs to be held accountable.
Absolutely. If that's true, yes, I agree.
Every one of
Like
them.
I said,
Ain't no
that's just based
forgetting.
on what I
Ain't
know.
no
You know,
forgetting
like I
none
can't
of
prove
them.
that necessarily, but
I ain't gonna forgive none of them for that. I still remember.
no, I'm not
all-
either. Trust me, if I ever get any people, I'm gonna have to consider myself. I'm gonna have to ask God to stop me from doing something stupid, right?
Right.
But think about that. I think about what if I did. What if I had a chance to? What would I
Give
do?
in
I
to
don't
peer pressure like that. Yeah. Fuck all
Well, it's like if I ever witnessed somebody hurting someone else, I think I would do something to them. I don't think that would be even a guess to me. I would do something. I promised myself for my whole life that I would never abandon somebody that was in trouble. You know what I mean? Regardless of why they were in trouble.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
Well, we got another just 4.5 minutes of this. It's almost.
People were basically
it's a shame that we
allegedly
have
saying it was
evidence
beclousing. I think they were shutting it down. I think some clips, some YouTube stuff, some government intervention. What's wrong with asking questions? I think is what we're basically saying. I don't know what's
Nothing.
going on here, but there's some evidence
What's wrong with
that there could be some
foul
foul
play.
play.
Let me give you guys an update here about election night. So election night, that's coming up November 5th. It's going to be the biggest party in the country, minus the one that Trump and Kamala host together. I have 4 guests that I'm announcing that are now going to be at the election night with us. We're going to have some of the old timers that are coming back. So those guys are going to come back no matter what. They'll be with us
So I think
while we
that's
go
all
live on the
he
podcast
talked about this shit at. Let me see.
from 7 p.m. Yeah, they're here. Here's who's going to be here with us. And then you're saying,
That's going to be a few of you. Some will get a private tour of the entire office from us. There's a hangar in the back. So you come up here. Imagine there's going to be a couple major tents, 40 feet by 100 feet, where some of the people.
It's all just election bullshit he started talking about after that. So yeah, Project Cirrus, and they're like, "Oh no, it wasn't us. You can't." Yeah, no, they do that all the time. Yeah, idiot, shut up! They're gonna sue us. All right. God, this was kind of weird. Look at this weird shit. This is Stu Peters has been getting into some crazy shit. So what's hiding under the water in Florida? Ooh. I guess you can go on Google Earth and look at this and pay attention where he's going to. He goes in and looks at these pictures. What the hell? What? The hell is all that?
How the heck? Wait a minute. How do you look under the water on maps or on what?
Pictures, 3D pictures and shit.
Yeah, but how?
Scuba diving and shit. What is that shit down there?
I don't know. Looks like something to grow things or something, maybe.
Like antennas or something, man.
Maybe, but it might also be some kind of a. I know there's some certain kinds of bamboo and things that grow underwater. It could be something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, they don't grow that.
I know, but I'm
let's
saying I'm just
how he
trying to
does
think
it.
of something that makes sense besides what they're saying.
Here's
right?
how he does it. Here's how he does it. He zooms in, comes into this area, and he finds. Okay, now you wait and see those little dots pop up, and I guess
Yeah.
those are 3D
Oh, okay.
pictures.
So that tells you
Okay,
that
see
there's
how
something
those? All right,
underwater.
look.
I got you.
All right, so those are like, see, they're in squares.
Yeah, it's like it's cages or something weird, or whatever. Posts. What is it though?
I don't know. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be like maybe what it was is they found a bunch of stuff in the ground, and those are little stakes they put in the ground to mark the areas. I don't know. That's what maybe it would. I don't know. My guess is as good as yours. There's coral there.
Like
Those stakes might
claims
be
or
markers.
like claims.
They might be markers of where things are. Maybe they're markers for whatever they
Yeah,
took
maybe.
out. But there's a regular brick there. There's some other stuff that looks like stuff you'd find on the surface. So
Yeah.
it just appears to be tools of some kind or whatever. I don't know. But there's like
Apparently,
growing on it all. I mean, it might be antennas, but what kind of
it's
antenna?
apparently not real deep.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't look deep at all, but because of the lighting anyway, it looks bright for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, they could be something off a ship. Maybe there was a shipwreck and all the stuff sunk to the bottom and it's just a bunch of equipment and then it's just over the years it's dissolved, and the fish have whatever and the things have eaten it or destroyed it or whatever and it's eroded or whatever you call it. I don't know. But I don't think it's like anything special, but who knows? Looks like a bunch of wood box or something.
I seen a thing about this. Have you ever heard of Randonautica? So I asked my buddy Johnny last time he come over. He didn't know what it was, and I said, I said we should download this and fuck with it. Let's see what we can find out. And so I downloaded it, and I'm waiting. He's trying to get his courage up, and I said, "Come on, man, we'll find something scary as shit, man. We'll film it." So I think I'm gonna play around with that and see what it does. Have you
I haven't
watched
tried it
it?
out, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I haven't tried it out, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. Why
Well,
not?
if you've got it downloaded, then let's play with it. Let's make a show.
Well, I can get it. I can set up where I can go mobile right now. Here's Truth Stream Media is, right? And we used to be was it Melissa Melton and what's the guy's name? They used to be with InfoWars.
Something like that.
Anyway, they're married and they have Truth Stream Media. They can't talk about any of their time on Alex Jones publicly because they signed NDAs. Isn't that crazy? Everybody that works for him has to sign NDAs.
Everybody that works for anybody in Hollywood signs them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you ask me for an NDA, I don't want no part. Yeah, I don't want no part of whatever the fuck you're doing. If I have to sign a thing that says I ain't gonna talk about it, that's nope.
Well, I mean, I understand they want the privacy and they don't want like certain directors don't want their ideas to get out, but come on, like an NDA really? Like keeping your mouth shut about technology or whatever that's in the industry is one thing, but to sign an NDA, that's almost like a military contract to me. That would scare me.
Yeah, they put out a video about this weather modification too. This was they did this in 2017 on weather modification. Yeah, let's see. It says a part of a 2017 report we did on weather modification, specifically focusing on a 2009 NOAA DHS memo on HAMP, HAMP. That's the Hurricane Aerosol and Microphysics Program. So we are always talking about HARP. And there's another thing they got called HAMP. All right. Denying these programs ever existed isn't helping. The public has a right to know we are trying to live here. So I thought we'd watch that real quick and I'll be able to smoke me a bowl while I'm doing it. See? What's going on, Kevin? I haven't seen you in a while. What's up, brother? Right on. All right.
The whole ball of wax was that the government-backed weather experimentation was forced to officially, in quotes I mean, abstain from cloud seeding when the storm they were targeting had more than a 10% chance of landing on U.S. soil within 24 to 36 hours. Why? Because in the 1947 test, officially known as Project Cirrus, led by General Electric chemist and scientist Irving Langmuir, as well as the U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force, likely steered a deadly hurricane into Savannah, Georgia, and the public was hopping mad about it. Langmuir, for one, took credit for it. And the powers that be admitted man-made technology and interference from man indeed had the power both to intensify storms and to direct them onto land, whether intentionally or incidentally. Yes, the public and Congress used to be keenly aware of attempts at hurricane steering and weather manipulation in general, and the controversy surrounding it prompted an 11-year official, in quotes I mean, hiatus before Operation Storm Fury could officially resume with military and U.S. government support in 1962 and beyond. And before official, in quotes I mean, attempts at steering the weather by bombarding silver iodide particles into storm clouds could again take place out in the open. But controversy continued when the papers reported on the upcoming round of weather manipulation in 1965 with Hurricane Betsy. The press was informed about the Navy and U.S. Weather Bureau's joint plans to seed the hurricane and prove their technological capability when they thought the storm was relatively idle and therefore a good, quote, candidate for meddling. But supposedly, when the storm turned towards land, the plans for weather manipulation were dropped, officially, and in quotes I mean, but the media had already informed the public, and assuming that the seeding was underway, they blamed the cloud seeding project for Betsy's hitting Florida's southern coast. Read between the lines a bit much? At any rate, a lot of mistakes were made, fresh attempts were restarted, and publicity blunders endured. But the point is that the public and the federal government used to acknowledge the controversial use of weather manipulation. But then
now it's all just, oh no, they don't do any such thing. Our government, nobody can control the weather. Well, they might not be able to control it, but they can make it worse. That's one thing we found out they can do.
at some point, it was all forgotten, and all those who dared to talk about the issue suddenly became conspiracy theorists and crazed ranters who would do better to shut their mouths and just line up at the emergency centers and aid the recovery efforts. And nowadays, only a few people wonder how it all happened, how the weather just got so strange.
This is normal. Does anybody have a canoe?
And how even talking about the weather became a good way to become an outcast and an instant weirdo. But Melissa uncovered this official document from 2009 in one of her first articles that she wrote back in 2012. In it, an administrator from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, working in a subdepartment called the Office of Oceanic and Atmospheric Research, in quotes I mean, was corresponding with Homeland Security's version of DARPA, their own Advanced Research Projects Agency, wherein they discussed a little-known project called HAMP. In quotes, that is the Hurricane Aerosol and Microphysics Program.
I have never heard of that. HAMP. Hurricane Aerosol and Microphysics Program. What do you reckon is meant by microphysics?
It's talking about micro weather. It's talking about microclimate is what they're talking about. I think it's
well, the name of the thing is
notice how
aerosol. Now, that would be the spraying aerosol. We know what that is. And microphysics program. So what I'm trying to understand, what is microphysics? Let's see if we can find out.
Like I said, I bet you it has to do with the weather. like because climate, because they call them microclimates. It's like little areas where storms can happen in certain ways and all that. And they've been testing. I think that's the reason why we have these things, is because they've created them by messing.
There's the thing: microphysics of clouds and precipitation.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Okay. Comprehensive and authoritative. Okay, let's see. What's it? Confronting the challenge of modeling microphysics. So let me see. Our study and analysis of distribution differences in raindrop spectra. Okay. All right. Starting to make sense. Let's see. Let's just go with a definition. There we go. The branch of physics that deals with bodies and phenomena on a microscopic or smaller scale, especially with molecules, atoms, and subatomic particles.
Yep.
Okay. There we go. Now we know. That is what microphysics are. We shall continue.
Basically, stuff that happens on a microscopic level in the sky, basically.
Right. Well, like in what occurs between the different particles of different gases and different elements within the atmos mixture that we call the air. All right. I dig it.
The hell approved that project and forgot to tell the public anyway. Something like 64 million in taxpayer money was up in the air, and they were talking about reviving Project Storm Fury, which had run, officially that is, from 1962 through 1983. Some of the old timers were even recruited for the new effort, but mind you, the technology has progressed and things are no longer based around seeding the clouds with silver iodide. Things are now steered with advanced electromagnetic waves, plane-deployed aerosols, antenna arrays like HARP, and other similar technologies. But the issue that this HAMP memo acknowledged was that even back then, and still today, they had a problem, in quotes you see, with being unable to distinguish between, quote, ladies and gentlemen, what happens when a hurricane is modified by human intervention versus a hurricane's natural behavior, end quote. Not only did they have lacking proof that their efforts made any difference, but they were also drowning in the downpour of what is so often termed plausible deniability. Nevertheless, research was to move forward and, quote, weather modification efforts might again become viable. They themselves admit that the blowback can be quite literal, and that efforts, ostensibly of course, to weaken and diffuse major storms could instead put the storm on steroids and bolster its course for a dense population center near you. Where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's a, quote, emergency coordinator, trouble is sure to follow. Just when your neighbors thought this wasn't possible, it turns out that it was on record all along. Oh, and they've tested it out on snowstorms, lightning storms, rainstorms, and whatever other storms might traverse the land. What will happen this time, or the next? And will it be Mother Nature to blame, or Mother Government? Who knows, but keep your eye on the ball, or swirling eye of the storm. Somewhere in there may be that elusive, hidden hand. And, of course, in quotes.
Of the day, it's going to be pretty nice, though, if you had thought about evacuation, if you have been ordered to evacuate, if it's a voluntary evacuation, whatever. Pretty nice weather to be out and about and getting to your shelters. So
that was 2017. That story that
The whole
video.
ball of wax was that the government.
2017. Where is that? I gotta find that. That was funny as shit. I thought of something really funny today, man. I was like, oh my God, can you imagine? You know who's going to be the most pissed off if Kamala Harris wins the election? You know who's going to be more pissed off than anybody else in America? It occurred to me. Hillary. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? She lost to Trump, and then this Rutabaga comes out and fucking wins. You know she's gonna go fucking ballistic. She's gonna go ballistic. Where was that? This was funny as shit. This was this weatherman. losing his. Oh, to give you an idea, when they're talking about this is great. The simulation this guy did of storm surges, what they actually mean. Check this out.
So what does that look like? Well, let's show you. Imagine this. Imagine 3 feet of storm surge right here. Now, if this amount of water catches you by surprise, it's too late to evacuate. Cars are floating around and floating away. There's large objects in here that could knock things down with a battering ram-like force. Now, there's no way, again, to evacuate with this kind of storm surge. But we know there's going to be places with more than 3 feet. Imagine 6 feet of storm surge. Now, this completely floods out the first floors of homes and businesses, and the only...
They need to send that motherfucker down there. How's he doing that? Just stand him down there on the beach and hold back the storm. There you go, brother.
The way to escape that is to move to the higher floor of a building. Now, unfortunately, there are going to be places that get more than 6 feet of storm surge flooding. Imagine this, 9 feet and even beyond of flooding, of inundation. This is practically not survivable. So please follow the advice of your local officials when they ask you to evacuate. And if you have any questions about what evacuation zone you're in, if you need to go and or where you need to go to Florida Disaster.
Buy a houseboat, buy your house.
And by all means, everybody, please stay safe.
I'm kidding.
Holy crap. So yeah, get a houseboat, but here's the problem.
Easy for it is for them to fake that look. That's crazy, like how real it kind of look. You know what I mean? It's like, wait a minute, what? You know?
Yeah, I thought that was nuts.
That's almost too good.
Yeah, I was thinking, dude, send that guy down there.
I thought it was just like, I thought they just cut it off and then put a computer image in front of it, but it looks like the whole thing was generated. That was pretty trippy.
Isn't it amazing what they're able to do?
How do we know they haven't been able to do this for all along? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we know that our TV isn't already just computerized people? I mean, how many famous people have you met? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, how do we really know?
Couple. I've met a couple.
I have. I met like Clark, but you know, like,
TV.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just have a hard time believing it that everybody on TV is actually real.
You said a thing about a houseboat.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Okay. Well, the biggest problem with that is that there's other shit coming in there, not just water.
Yeah,
You've got tractor trailers and fucking trees and.
But at least if you were in a houseboat, you can maneuver around it, right? Like you could just go out to sea or whatever and get away, you know, come back.
So here's a guy. This weatherman loses. This is great. You're gonna love this one. Listen to this guy.
Oh,
Hurricane
remember
Milton is set to make landfall this Wednesday in the Tampa area, and folks, it is not looking good. He's already up to a Category 5 with winds reaching 160 miles an hour. Hell, my car doesn't go that fast. But you know what? As if we haven't gotten enough from last week with Hurricane Helene. And look at the name, everybody. Look at that. Milton. Coincidentally, that's the name of the gentleman that my now ex-wife Helene left me for. He's a Jamaican fellow, and I caught them both having sexual relations in a Hilton parking lot. Yes, she was having sex with Milton in a Hilton. And guys, look at this. Look at this. This is not good. All right? Quick question. I asked it last week. Why are you still living in Tampa? Have you guys not learned your lesson? Look at this. Directly, as if he's coming just for Tampa. Guys, he doesn't like you. So if you're in the Tampa area, don't be. But look at Milton. He looks pissed. All right? He's going to do to you what he did to my ex-wife. All right? He's going to knock you up. He's going to break up your home. He's even going to steal your middle school science fair trophy. Hey, Milton. Why? And not to scare you guys more than you already are, but look at that. What the hell is that? You know what that reminds me of? Remember that song from Rocky? It's the eye of the tiger. Everyone's gonna die. Pack your shit and get the hell up out of Tampa. And Tampa, not to add insult to injury, but FEMA just announced that they have no money left to help you because they gave all the money to illegals in 4 countries. All right. And hey, Governor DeSantis, if you're watching this, I have a message for you. I have a great idea. Why don't you rename Florida Ukraine? Maybe then we'll get the funding that we need. All right. And that being said, I think I speak for every Floridian when I say, hey, President Zelensky, Milton, and whoever the hell wrote that freaking Baby Shark song, go f yourself.
Hey, without that song, we wouldn't be able to scare up all the homeless people from the really good places, man. Trust me.
That's
Hurricane Milton is set to make landfall.
I swear to God, that is so funny.
Where'd you find that guy?
I don't know. Just ran across it as I was scrolling through on my.
You know what's funny is that he's saying what I've been thinking and what I've been wanting to say. But it's funny he does it in a comment. I guess he gets away with it because he says it in a funny way. But
Oh my
he's
God,
right.
he's like
He's right though.
Literally, yes, that's right. Milton, the same guy, same name as the guy that ran off with my wife Helene.
That's so funny, bro. Like I can only imagine that he's probably not lying about that either. That's messed up, man.
God bless America. There we go. All
Crazy.
right. I need to go back. There we go.
It's just like real life unhinged, right? Like this is what really happens when people start to go crazy, right? Like when things happen to you and they pile up so high that you can't, your head's below the shit, yeah. That's exactly. You just kind of react that way. You kind of have this funny. It's what I do. I'm kind of like I've lost it so much that I just kind of like just laugh about everything because it's the only way to deal with it, right? Like how do you deal with when you find out that you've been lied to, and there's this this group of people that is trying to eliminate you somehow, right?
Yeah.
Or these hopes that you fall into the trap of it so that they can eliminate you, and that's a scary thought. But
here's where they say the quiet part out loud. Listen to this.
Make fun of it, right?
Listen to this.
We plan to execute between 70 and 80,000. We plan to evacuate between 70 and 80,000 people. We plan to execute between 70 and 80,000. We plan to evacuate between 70 and 80,000.
That's a for you. He said it. He said it like it was supposed to be said that way, and then he went back. It'd be different if he stopped himself and laughed and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, that was a mistake." But with the way he said it, almost like, Icky.
This shit's nuts, man. This shit is nuts. Okay, let me see.
You know who Legion is?
From
Dave?
yesterday. What's that?
Do you know who Legion is?
Who they are? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it reminds me of. I see Legion when I see that. I don't even see Satan anymore. I just see the Legion, his minion, because that's what they do. They penetrate and they screw everything up. It's just crazy, bro.
Well, they
It's
got a new.
so obvious. The spiritual is so obvious now. It's like it's really hard for me to deny it. That it's like all around me. I can feel it. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
They got a new vaccine approved for mass production, and it's a new self-amplifying mRNA COVID vaccine.
And that didn't work the first time. What makes them think it's going to work the second time?
Man, what the hell? So what could go wrong, right?
What could go wrong?
Holy crap! Holy fuck!
The lawsuits aren't even over yet. They're still backed up with all the lawsuits over this. I think they should wait until the lawsuits are over before they start a new campaign, if you will. Don't you think? Because how our government's going to go bankrupt from us suing it. If you really think about it, This could be what they're really up to, right, guys? Think about it. They could be just get us to sue the government to where it literally doesn't have anything left, and then they can just annihilate it and just start something different, right?
Well, they ain't got nothing to begin with.
Well, I know, but I'm saying they still got control over the majority of people's minds.
All we'd be doing was robbing each other. We'd be getting the money from ourselves.
Yeah, that's
where's the value? Where's the government's value? Where do they get their?
If we can just write checks for whatever we want, then in theory we could just make everything.
See, and that's exactly why these fucking cops don't give a shit if you sue them. They have qualified immunity. The city pays the settlement, and they don't. It doesn't come out of them. But if you take away
that
qualified
anybody
immunity,
can get that status if they apply for it, right?
What?
You can
Qualified immunity? No, you have to be a police officer, dude.
Well, why couldn't you create your own police service? Property.
I don't know. Give that a shot and see how it works out.
Well, I mean, if it's your property and you've got fences around it, and somebody comes in there, and then you could police it yourself.
You have to incorporate. You have to incorporate.
Yes,
first.
of course, and
there's places that have done that.
That's what I was going to say. You should ask your son if that's even a possibility.
Yeah. There's a lot of incorporated towns. That's
I
like
know you get your own place.
The city of Harrisonburg is incorporated. It's right in the middle of Rockingham County, but it's incorporated. So once you're in city limits, that's not county jurisdiction. It's city jurisdiction.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Of course, we're a commonwealth too. So there's a guy here that says that if you hold a thought for 17 seconds, it's the key to the manifestation. I haven't watched this yet. I just wanted to see what it said.
There's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, 17 seconds, 17, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. Let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to it. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So let's say that I normally live in contentment. And that's my set point, because that's where I live. I think about that all the time. That's what my makeup is, that sort of thing. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden, a car cuts me off, and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office, and I'm telling all my colleagues, here's what happened. This knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife that. What am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket, and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items, and I'm getting in line, and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day, and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating.
That makes fucking sense, man. That makes absolute sense.
Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah. What's up, bro?
Law and physics.
There we go. I've been trying to get my laptop to work again, and I keep fighting the stupid speakers not letting the mic work.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Is it
no
Bluetooth?
biggie.
Is it Bluetooth
Yeah.
stuff? Yeah.
Well, the speaker's Bluetooth, but when I have a plug-in mic, so it's a USB mic.
Okay.
That's all. Just a piece of crap. Bluetooth on. It doesn't like to work, and then so I have to go to my phone.
So did you guys hear anything about I've heard a couple of people talking about that people were having trouble getting their cars started in Florida after the evacuation order was put in, and seen a few reports of people not being able to get their car started. And I don't know, let me put this on here. It says, can anyone please confirm this cars are not starting in Florida, Tampa area? Is this true? I don't know. I'm not there, dude. I don't know, but it's here.
So you guys are not gonna believe what's happening in Florida right now. So I have just received news that people who reside in the Tampa area, their vehicles are not starting. That's right. Their vehicles are not starting. Their batteries are going out. Guys, it gotta be a larger thing at hand here. If one person battery goes out, let me give you an example, a scenario here. Your battery goes out while you're trying to evacuate and you're driving away or whatever the case may be, right? And you realize your battery's dead, so you call a car service to get your battery repaired or jumped, and they tell you that they are backed up because it's multiple customers calling for the same issue. So if it's not only one person and it's multiple people, it's something real larger at play here. You mean to tell me everybody's car battery all of a sudden doesn't work the day before a Category 5 or one of the biggest hurricanes Tampa may receive if it get hit directly? Guys, that doesn't seem right. Yeah, if anybody has any other news on this or any other strange things that's been happening, please Leave it in the comment section or let me know. Peace and love, TikTok. I'm out.
So I don't know. I saw another lady was talking about it. She was a little bit more articulate than that guy. Seeing if I can find that. Where? Somewhere. Oh, that's right. I want to add that to my little thing on here too. Let's see. We watched that. We saw this. Damn it. Hate searching for shit. Pisses me off.
Me too. I get it. Sometimes you can't find what you're looking for. It's like, ah!
I know it. It gets
I
frustrating.
know, put it in there, right? Why isn't it accepting?
I must have not saved that. So let's see here. An hour ago, see what's going on with this hurricane. Let's do a search in here for Milton. And then we're going to see what the latest. Usually those are the quickest things. Breaking. Let's see. That's somebody just retweeting or putting out their thing. Hurricane Milton on track. This was 2 seconds ago. It went up. Hurricane Milton on track to hit Florida. Florida's Gulf Coast late on Wednesday with devastating winds of more than 260 kilometers per hour. No, 160 miles per hour. I don't know what the hell. Why did they put KMS/hour? That's stupid. Let me show you this. This people, man. It says 260 kilometers. It's KMH, dumbass, which is 160 miles per hour. As it approaches just 400 miles from Tampa, U.S. National Hurricane Center says. There's a big old picture of it. Let's see what it looks like. Ooh. Now this is still right here. This picture. This is still. Isn't this the Yucatan Peninsula? This is Cuba over here on the right. So where's Florida? Florida's way over here.
It's up here left. Up there, south left, isn't it?
No, Florida's over here to the right.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. See, this is Yucatan right here. It sticks
okay.
out.
I thought that was
There's Texas. There's Texas and shit. Louisiana.
Oh, okay. I see. That's the Gulf. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. That's the Gulf of Mexico. The Gulf of Mexico.
Let's
see what they're saying. Jamaica
Oh,
experiencing.
it's hard to tell what it is, though. Like,
this here's in Jamaica, and this was just went up just a few like a minute ago.
I've been to Jamaica.
They're getting it's raining. Oh my god! But they're getting just the tip of it right now. That's one of them saturating rains too, man. That means there's a lot of water in here. It just runs like that, like it runs down. God. Well, we'll see what happens. I would hoping the best for Austin and his family and FMX and the rest of everybody that's down there, man.
Yeah, especially.
And this is tight, man. What is this saying? Hurricane Milton has landed?
What?
Oh, dumbass thing. Some guy trying to sell fucking crypto. Jesus Christ, I hate that. I really do. These people, opportunist fucking people.
Everything's for sale, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, just pisses you off, you know. You see this shit. So what's it saying? This was 3 minutes ago. Superimposed NHC Milton update onto Google Earth with plotted 30-mile radius circles for scale. Let's see what that looks like for you. Oh man, yeah. I guess Disney World is looking at getting up pretty bad too. Now I'd heard some shit earlier that it might be losing strength. I don't know if that's true or not. I know this is a long shot to ask for help evacuating Milton, but I'm 100% service connected, disabled veteran. Not a single charity will help me. I have 2 small children. You do not fit in the essential workers. If you are disabled, you are not an essential worker, and so therefore you are not important. That's how they view it. I'm not shitting you. What's this say? This is Milton, something at the. I wish I could translate that. Let me see. I don't know where that's at. Why did they put up the? Oh, you know why? Because I'm using a VPN. That's why. Let's see. This was 11:26 p.m. Was 4 minutes ago. It looks like it's coming up on. It looks like it's coming up on Cuba. It's gonna barely. Oh yeah, they get. See, this is where the intensity is out here. It's not here in the middle. It's out here. It's out here where it's rolling. Well, it serves Cuba right, anyways, for growing like that. Becoming
How dare you,
huge motherfuckers!
That's messed up, bro. That's what you get.
That's what you get for growing too big for your britches, there, Cuba.
How dare you populate your city like that? How dare
you? Oh man, that's a projected thing, Fort Myers. And like I said, at the edges of these outside edges, this is where the real shit happens at. Oh my God. Yeah. There's Kissimmee. Wow. Well, it looks like, I think up around here is where Austin lives, up around here. So he might be pretty well safe. I hope so. Man. Let's see. I'm just looking up the latest shit. 51 Florida counties are approved for aid for Hurricane Milton. FEMA personnel have already been assigned. Now that I bet they're happy about that. We're sending down some bureaucrats to slow everything up.
Look what's on my thing. Look at the ad that's on my phone. FEMA's not hiring. Look at that. Imagine that, though. Imagine that.
You ought to apply. You might get to be a guard at a FEMA camp.
Experience. Apply now for all experience level. Oh yeah. Look,
don't you
the
want to
remote
be a
customer
guard?
service, emergency management specialist, IT specialist, and environmental protection specialist. I fit right in. I know all about it. They wouldn't hire me though. I know.
No, not me either.
I pull that shit up from the inside.
You say you ought to apply to be a guard at a FEMA camp. And then when they put everybody in there, you can just let them go.
Just let them go. Yeah, there you go.
You gotta say, fuck you.
Well, we have to hope that's what will happen too, right? That's what we're hoping will happen anyway. So the people that end up in those jobs would realize what they were doing and stop it. Yeah. I would hope so.
Why does this do this? Is there anything? Oh, that's why. This is all the media that's associated with any of this Milton.
Oh wow, there's a new lawsuit against TikTok.
Of course. Quit letting these people make. You know what though?
Oh, it's actually on the NBC News. I mean, I'm surprised. It says it right on there. It's an NBC News advertising.
I about fucking hate TikTok, man.
Addicted to kids and cause them harm. U.S. state lawsuits are against them for it, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It is. It's addictive to me. I'll admit it. I watch TikTok all the time. I get stuck on it. Just watching the dumb videos. Addicting. It's hard not to watch.
Okay, here we go. It says, let me put this up here. This is... All right, so it says the storm isn't just impacting people's lives, it's affecting the election. Okay. Last night, the North Carolina Board of Election announced changes to voting rules impacted by Hurricane Helene. In 2020, it took North Carolina 10 days to verify the election, despite being a relatively small state. They are going to cheat. Let's see what they say.
Fox News alert: Hurricane Helene wreaked havoc on North Carolina. The state will be reeling from the damage for years. And the storm just isn't impacting people's lives. It's affecting the election. Last night, the North Carolina Board of Elections announced changes to voting rules in counties impacted by Hurricane Helene. And some people are concerned. Senior political correspondent Kevin Cork is here. Kevin.
Evening, Jesse. They are talking about major changes in the voting process. Now, this is, they say, designed to help displaced voters in the Tar Heel state not only cast their ballots, but also make sure they have their voices heard this November. However, some Republicans are expressing deep reservations about the plan because of concerns about voter integrity. Now, the changes were approved by unanimous vote by the bipartisan board, coming just 10 days before early voting begins in the battleground state, and even as mail-in voting is already underway. Now, a couple of the changes I want to tell you about, including this: voters in the 13 counties that have been heavily affected by Hurricane Helene will now have more ways to obtain and deliver absentee ballots. By the way, more storm.
You see what is going on here, right? So another disaster. Last time it was the cold. This time it's going to be floods and displaced people unable to get to the polls and vote. They're going to be able to fuck with the mail-in, all the mail-ins. See, this is the thing. Look, I'm like this. There shouldn't be no such thing as mail-in voting. And if you got to put shit off and hold up until every one of those motherfuckers can get to a poll and do a physical ballot, then that's what you got to do. This bullshit, man, every 4 years, something.
It's coming, possibly. Voters in those counties will have longer to apply for absentee ballots. They'll be allowed to drop their ballots off anywhere in the state, not just in their home county. There'll also be teams that'll be sent to storm relief centers to help register more voters and, you guessed it, collect more ballots. What's more, the county boards will also be able to, by a bipartisan majority, hire poll workers from other counties and then move them all around the state to ensure there are enough experienced workers at each voting site. Now, the problem is, say critics, Jesse, we don't know where they're going to draw these poll workers from. And with ballots being able to be dropped off anywhere in the state, how can anyone accurately contest voter turnout discrepancies, say, in different counties? And keep this in mind, North Carolina was one of the last states to report back in 2020. It took them 10 days to start.
That's okay. They're going to bring in a bunch of voting officials from Chicago. There you go. Yeah, fix it right up for you.
Certify the general election despite being a relatively small state. Now, I can also add this very quickly. President Trump's team, the Trump-Vance campaign, issued a statement tonight asking for more access for North Carolinians. They say it is super important that the people who've already suffered from the storm don't lose.
See, it's all about the damn voting. Thank you, Barbara. She sent a link to several live cams. No, that's not what that is. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Again, they're saying, oh, that's way down here. I got the wrong one. Not bad. Let me close that out. Where did she go? There we go.
Are you okay?
Who is that making all that fucking noise? So these are several live cams that are going on right now. Let me bring this up. You can kind of watch this. And they're saying it's still a category 5 according to this up here. Yeah, see, it's just now starting to get toward Cuba, as if this is the estimated landfall. 1 hour.
Drop ice on one side of it and cause it to turn to the right and miss Florida completely if they really wanted to, right?
Wait a minute. Estimated landfall, is this supposed to be, does that mean 1 hour, 5 minutes? Wait a second. These are seconds back here. Okay, so 1 day, 5 hours, and 20 minutes. is when they're expecting landfall. Okay. And it looks like it's coming right up. It looks like it's kind of wanting to curve a little bit south. It might kind of come up.
Yeah, it seems to me like weren't we just watching something about how they dropped ice crystals into one of these and it actually turned and went somewhere else? Didn't we hear something about that? So why don't they just do that in this case? Make it go right between Cuba and Florida and miss everybody.
Well, you ain't got no money. Send it all to the fucking Ukraine.
Because they're trying to kill us. That's why they're not trying to help us. Believe that.
Yeah,
you got that right,
Kevin. Dry ice. They use up all the dry ice in Ukraine, huh?
Yeah, man. We ain't got no National Guard to help either because we sent them off to Israel.
No, and what's really fucked up, Dave, is that they got no problem shipping all of our FEMA money over to Ukraine. But you know, gee, many Christmas, nobody knows what happened to the money. It's just gone, and nobody has a clue.
Well, you know that I saw an article that said that Zelensky bought Hitler's car and has it sitting like right outside of his office. I mean, they're living high on the hog with our money and saying there's a war going on. I don't think there's a war happening, man. I really don't. I don't think it's anything like what they're saying it is.
I think they just went in there and blew up a couple of buildings that were already abandoned and just made a big deal out of it.
I think they're running a wag the dog on the American people, man. That's what I think.
I think and I think every one of them's in on it together too. They're all in on it together.
Sure, 100%. I believe that. What is this other can? This is people leaving out of Wildwood. This is the I-25 down here in the right corner, approaching St. Petersburg. This one up here is Jacksonville, I-295. There's I-95 to Jacksonville up here. These roads look like they're not doing too bad. Austin said there was gridlock going out of his area, but it looks like it's pretty cleared up now.
Well, it might be that way when you're getting onto the freeway, but the freeway might not be blocked up yet. That's true.
I mean, this looks pretty slow. What's that? I-75 passing Ocala, and I-75 runs north and south. So I would imagine these people trying to go north. So if that's looking south, yeah, everybody going north. It's a lot of traffic. That's a lot of traffic in the northbound lane.
Are there any mountains in that area? Are there any high places, or is it all just
what? Florida?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, really? Okay. Then there's really nowhere to go then. Gotcha.
Florida's like if you dig down like 3 foot, you hit water. I mean, it's really low. It's almost like,
so it really is just a big swampland area.
It's like a large sandbar, basically. Yeah, it's really low. It's like I think, it ain't got much elevation above sea level at all.
That's how it is out here in Portland, Oregon, too.
Mm-hmm.
Portland, Oregon's the same way. You can go down 2.5 feet. Doesn't even matter what time of the year it is. Summertime, wintertime. It's even less in the wintertime.
Really? Well, that place just stays saturated with water, rain, and shit all the time.
Well, yeah, because whatever they called it, Vanport or whatever, where I live down here in the Ainsworth area, is basically it used to be all underwater. And they, when the Bonneville went up and the dam went up, it thinned all this out, and they just hauled a bunch of fill into it and made it houses. That was back in the 30s.
So they set you up for that then. They basically sold you a place sitting on a sandbar, and then now they're just going to wash you out.
Yep. Get everybody going there too. Get everybody going there. What the hell? This is so that was on the hurricane. Let me see if there's. I'm going to refresh this and see if there's anything new.
I mean, I wouldn't even want to go to Florida for a vacation. Fuck that.
Oh, wow. This is kind of crazy. Bill and Hillary, have they been replaced? What's up? Look at this picture I just found. I mean, what's with all these fucking people changing height all the time? I don't understand, man. How do you do that? How do you do that? Oh, oh no, you don't. You're gonna get fucking eaten, little bird. Not a good idea. Check this out. This is funnier than shit. Probably not the brightest fucking thing to do, little bird. Reach up there touching that dog's nuts. Yeah, right?
Bite his little head right off, dude.
He's just getting the fleas off his nuts.
Oh my God. Alex Stein. Oh, which reminds me. So, okay, here he is trolling. Now, this is somebody that actually, okay, Duffy is wanting this dude to go on the final experiment with him. Okay, if you don't know who Alex Stein is a clown dude that does like all these stunts. He went in front of the Los Angeles County Board or some shit, or city board, wearing a female swimmer suit and a bathing cap and shit to advocate for transgender swimmers or some shit like that. Anyways, he's a fool. He did this one, I guess, it's a free Puff Daddy. He went there in front of this board to talk about free and Puff Daddy. So,
hello, Mayor Moore. My
funny.
name's Alex Stein. I'm here because emotionally I'm not doing well. My wife, she's been very unhappy with me lately because I have a unique opinion. I want to help Puff Daddy get out of jail. And I wrote him a little song. You guys can see it.
We miss you, Puff. We want you out. Don't cry and shout. You should be free. Let's call Jay-Z. Puff Daddy's not a felon just because he with Ellen. Puff Daddy should be free. No, he doesn't have HIV. Puff Daddy is the best. Puff Daddy's better than the rest. Puff Daddy didn't kill Biggie. You know that is a lie. Puff Daddy would never cry. Puff Daddy is having fun. Puff Daddy is my son. Puff Daddy had it gone. Puff Daddy is the best. Puff Daddy beats the rest. Puff Daddy is my hero. Puff Daddy's not a zero. Puff Daddy should be free. Someone please call Jay-Z. I love you, Puff. We just did a couple free calls. Him and LeBron James, whatever they did is untamed. We should make it where felons can vote. So Puff Daddy can still vote for Kamala Harris for President of the United States of America. He's getting set up. Please, Mayor, if you can do anything, I love you. Thank you. Bye.
That's Alex Stein.
He's a goofball.
And apparently,
hello, Mayor Moore. My name's
hello, Mayor
Duffy, the final experiment guy, is wanting this dude to go because somehow Tim Pool, who definitely is not a shill, is offered to pay for it. See,
that's definitely not a shill.
And Alex Stein's like saying that his wife probably wouldn't let him, and you know. Y'all want to take a look? You guys want to see the final experiment video?
Do we have to?
All right. Yeah, the way the dude, the way he words shit just pisses me off. You know.
I like a good laugh every once in a while.
He's like, oh no, this free trip. Why are you turning down a free trip? You know, and then the way he bullies people to get them to go into his little shit show is just amazing. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, if it's a wonderful thing, then people will volunteer, okay? But the fact of the matter is nobody trusts this guy, man. Nobody trusts him. No, I'm not even going to give him the fucking attention tonight. He's an asswipe.
Well, the other day I went through and I was like, all right, well, I'm just curious now because you guys sparked my attention for this crap the other day, and so I just went out on a whim and just went to go listen to him, and he was talking to some chick. I don't know who the hell, some clam. I don't know who it was, but anyway, he was talking to this chick, and I mean, he was just talking in circles. He wasn't getting anywhere. He wasn't explaining anything. He just keeps like victim, playing the victim or whatever. Like
Yeah.
nobody trusts me, and nobody believes me, and all this other bullshit. I couldn't listen to him.
Yeah, he's a king of straw man. Absolutely, 100%. I don't trust him. There's something
Wait a
else
minute.
to
Wait,
this.
wait. It's not king. It's queen. It's queen of the shills.
Well, I'm serious, man. I'm like, well, I don't give a shit about Antarctica to begin with. I don't think they're going to see a 24-hour sun. In fact, I don't even think it's going to happen. Okay. None of that is going to make the Earth not flat. Whatever. He wants to straw man and say yes, it will, and I'm like, well, no, it doesn't, because there's no curve. We got big problems. But in any case, I think this is going to be a big flop. But there's obviously something in it for him. There is no way in hell that anybody is going to drop that kind of coin without return. There's deeper motivations. Deeper motivations than that.
Yeah, evil probably.
No. Not even ego.
No,
We're talking
evil.
about a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. And all these wealthy benefactors that just kind of come out of the woodwork, offering a free trip. Yeah, that's how you always got to put it, a free trip. And it's like, okay, look, I've never really had a desire to go there for any reason whatsoever. And why would that change because it's free? Let me know what happens. Well, tell him. Well, no, he's got that girl going now.
I would hell like to go. I'd like to go just for that plane ride. That'd be cool. I've never been nowhere, but I haven't ever really been nowhere. I've never even been to California except in a car.
Somebody stole a fucking ambulance in Los Angeles here just about 5 minutes ago. What? Why would you steal an ambulance? What in the world? Unless there was somebody who wanted in it.
Stupid.
Oh my God. What's that? MSG, Madison Square Garden. What? Trump's going to have a rally at Madison Square Garden? That's pretty wild. He just booked it. So we'll see. So anyway, this guy, what's he say? He says, weather terrorism. The deep state is once again out in the open. We all know it's weather terrorism. Plausible deniability is gone. Super tankers are pumping smoke in the Gulf. What? All right, hold up. We got to hear this. Hold up.
Incredibly hot, record hot, as you might imagine. You know what's driving that. I don't need to tell you. Global warming, climate change, leading to this and becoming an increasing threat.
You can see these storms are coming one after the other, and they are meant to imprint everybody with the idea that global warming is getting worse, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So they're killing a few birds with one stone. They're imprinting everybody with the idea that global warming is getting worse, and so that people will comply with the global warming demands, the agenda demands, and also it's a depop, and it's also meant to strip people of their assets and destroy their ability to be independent from the government, right?
Yeah, that's right. I saw one Facebook live a man did in here in Tennessee, and he lost everything. He lost. He had a farm, lost all his cattle, all his horses, besides one. One horse made it out. All his goats, and destroyed the barn, destroyed everything.
Yeah,
his
it's
whole
sad.
livelihood. Yeah,
It's,
really
it's
is.
sad. And this is happening to people all over the world.
All over.
And people don't understand.
They really don't.
Why it's happening, who's doing it, how they have no thought of who's doing it. And that's the incredible thing when the Jesuits hide behind this cloak of secrecy, and nobody knows who's doing this. They think that it's natural weather, right? So weather warfare is an incredible power that they have to
incredibly hot, record hot, as you might imagine. You know what's driving that. I don't need to tell you. Global warming, climate change, leading to this and becoming an increasing threat.
Yeah, see, they try to blame it on the climate change nonsense.
Now this is Hurricane Milton. This is probably from yesterday or the day before, but you can see injected convective activity. So now, what could that be? Well, we have...
Come on, back that up. Watch that. Damn it. Fuck you.
Now this is Hurricane Milton.
Right here.
This is probably from yesterday or the day before, but you can see injected convective activity. So now, what could that be? Well, we have a video from real life fishing, and he's a fishing boat captain who knows the Gulf very well, and he's going to give his explanation.
Greenpeace obviously knows about these bunker ships that's in the ocean. That looks like forest fires. Just one of two pictures of bunker ships that I do have. There is literally hundreds of these ships out on the Gulf of Mexico with unlimited power, like I showed in my previous video of fuel. I really think all this individual stuff's bunker ships out here. Let's look at the Marine tracker, see if there's any idle out here. Okay, Warriors, at 12 minutes, I appreciate y'all, but this is truly what makes me angry. Super tankers sitting here out of gear. What are they doing? Right in the middle of a hurricane, gonna take it out of gear. Right here is where the hurricane is creating. Where I think all the smoke is coming from. Every one of these red ones are super tankers. Every single one of these red ones. 12 knots, that one's moving. But who said they can't be moving with the smoke? 2 knots, he ain't going nowhere. Two knots, he's not going anywhere. What is going on out here where these hurricanes are? 1.2 knots, he's not going anywhere. Why are all these super tankers sitting out here in the ocean not moving? Where the storm is being built. They have ships out here pumping this material out. There's no reason for these ships to be out of gear at 1 knot. Super tankers. Bunker ships. They're controlling our weather. Got all the bunker ships out here to do it. That one's at 12 knots. I believe all the ones at 12 knots and all, that's cruising speed. They're going somewhere. But these ones at 1 knot doesn't make any sense.
No. Why would you're just sitting there? Why would they just be sitting there, man? Crazy. But there again, it's just like you put the little pieces, you know, it's like when you start getting all the little pieces and putting them together and you go, oh, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. In and of themselves, they don't mean shit. But when you tie them all together, holy crap, you really get a lot. Here's that stolen ambulance. What the fuck are they doing? Why would they chase an ambulance? In Orange County. Orange County. Let me see something. Does it say anything about it? We got a chopper on this thing. This just happened. This is nuts.
If this guy ever decided to pull over, and obviously pit maneuver not a thing.
Well, we'll keep up with that and see that somebody recorded that from their TV and obviously did not have a very good microphone. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to find where that other woman was at that was talking about the cars that won't start. Pretty crazy. What'd y'all talk about on your show, Ryan? Oh, look at this thing. A Palestinian mom saw pictures of her injured son online, got really worried and rushed to the hospital, only to find out that the blood is fake and he's just fine. Now let's see, is this a put up propaganda thing or is this organically real? I think it's put up propaganda.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's real. I really don't.
You know, I need to go around.
What?
Not to kill you, honey.
Oh no, here we go. So we're the anti-Semitic because you suck at your job. The ADL says Hurricane Helene conspiracy theories are using anti-Semitic tropes to foster hate. Are you fucking shitting me? Look at this. Hurricane Helene conspiracy theories are using anti-Semitic tropes to foster hate, which is added to the dangers for some of FEMA's Jewish staff and undermines critical safety information and relief efforts. X should enforce its hate policies to stop this content from further endangering lives. Now, these whining ass motherfuckers are going to try to turn this hurricane disaster into their thing to cry about? Are you shitting me? What is with them? They're even playing a victim in a catastrophe that's not even theirs. That's how much of a victim status they have, man.
Douchebag to do that, don't they?
Wow. Meanwhile, as we slaughter millions of innocent fucking people around the world, Jesus, come on. Dude, this place is just nuts. Here's you can get an AR-15 upper, 10.5-inch barrel. The whole upper, handguards, everything, mounted sight posts. Wow. Nice. Good price. Not a bad price. Yeah, let's see. A video of volunteer supply zone getting totally ruined by Blackhawk. Is this another one or is this the same one? I think it's the same one. I don't know. Let's see. Is this the same one we saw as the other? Let's see. Or is this actually another? Oh no, it's the same one. Different view. It's just the same one from a different view. The way they put that out was to made it look like it's another helicopter. It's just another video of the same helicopter. You got to be careful with some of these people, man. I really have come to a point. What do they call it? A misanthrope? Isn't that somebody who just hates people? I think that's what I'm becoming. I really do. I really am starting to just really despise people. I mean, I see so much fucking bullshit. I mean, it's like when I start hearing about, I don't know, man, it's almost like if I was God, I would totally fry this place, man. I would. I would totally just fuck y'all. Gone. You know, wouldn't even look at it twice. It's a good thing I'm not God, huh? What's that pre-verification for the concealment of Stonewall's got to stop Secret Service whistleblower? People are still on that stupid shit about that, like that assassination is real. I can't believe it. I got into an argument with this Trump tard about that shit. And I was like, well, how did that motherfucker's ear grow back, bro? And he's like, oh, it was only a graze. And I said, his doctor said 2 centimeters scooped out consistent with a bullet wound. There is no trauma, no visible damage to his ear at all. How do you explain that? Oh, you're just brainwashed. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm fucking brainwashed. You're the one that can't explain how an octogenarian's ear grew back, bro. Come on. Who are you? Oh, man. Just can't understand it. How these people can actually just not see it. How can they just not see it? You know, and they automatically think, oh, you're for the other side. No, I'm not, man. I'm trying to wake you up. Both sides are shit. In fact, both sides are one side. That's what I'm trying to impart to you. It's not red versus blue, left versus right. It's us against them, man. As you can see, do you really think that all of the people affected by this hurricane were fucking Republicans? No. Come on. These people are out of their fucking minds. They're psychopathic. And they don't care. They will kill you to get their ends. You're just in the way. You're useless eaters. That's what they refer to you as. Useless fucking eaters. There you go, Forever Flowers. You not both. I'm with you on that one, man. You're giving your own consent to the slavery. That's exactly what that shit is. He's yeah. That's, and the thing, it just you got 2 turd sandwiches up for choice, and just because they put ketchup on one and it tastes not quite as bad as the other one, don't make it no less of a shit sandwich. You understand? You're gonna eat a shit sandwich. That's it. And they're gonna feed it to you. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot else going on new on this. Let me see if I can go over here to this other side and maybe run across something. There we go again with this damn thing. Let's see. Walmart is removing all meat and dairy from its shelves. Somebody better get a hold of Roger. Roger, are you out there watching? Are you working? He'd know. Let's see if this is real.
Something's going on. Something is going on. My daughter lives near Collierville, Tennessee. She went into a Walmart to do some shopping today, which she rarely does. And they were removing all the meat from the counters, putting it in shopping carts and putting it in the back. And she stopped one of them and she's like, hey, I need a roll of that hamburger. Yeah, we can't sell you this meat. She was like, why? And he's all, I don't know. We were told to remove it all from the counters and we're not allowed to sell it. So she's like, whatever. So she walks over to the dairy counter where, you know, the cheeses and all that. No eggs, no milk, all removed off the shelf. So she's like, nah. She found somebody. She's like, get me a manager out here. A manager came out and my daughter's like, what's going on? Like, he wouldn't let me buy hamburger meat. I need to get milk. I need to get eggs. And he's like, we received a memo this morning at our morning meeting. And we were told to remove all of this from all the shelves and not to sell any of it to the customers. My daughter was like, why? And he's like, I don't know. We don't have a reason. We were just told to say we're not allowed to sell it. My daughter goes to another Walmart down there. Same shit. Why are they removing all the meat and all the dairy off the shelves and not allowing people to buy them?
Wow. I wonder now, is that true? Usually you can get a glimpse of what's going on if you look in the comments. Let's see. Probably going to cut it with meat from all the dead animals and people. Walmart locations are subcontracted by FEMA in emergencies. I suspect FEMA made them do it, either to create chaos or possibly because they want to distribute it themselves to improve their PR. I don't know. I don't buy that. Another guy says, I hate our fucking government. No comments on the two most obvious points. I think they're cleaning out all the poisoned foods. There are things going on behind the scenes that are for our own good. We shall see. Oh, that's got to be a Q-tarder. Proud daughter of a United States Navy fighter pilot. Yeah, I follow all military. Yep. Let's see. I live in Buffalo, New York. Something is absolutely going on. I had to go to 3 different stores to find milk today. Walgreens, Rite Aid, both completely gone. So are the eggs. I don't know what's happening. So let's see if we can do a search on that and see if we can find anything out about Walmart. Walmart meat and eggs. All right, let's see. I'm going to put that, hit the enter key. All right, so let's see. Walmart caught lying about the weight of their meat they're selling. This is, let's see, we need the latest. So nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. No, just that one woman, Savage Daughter. She's not lying. Another woman reposted it, said, she's not lying. I went to Walmart Sunday and all the meat and dairy was removed from the shelves. Very strange. So I don't know if Roger, if you're watching this, or if anybody talks to Roger between now and the next time we see each other, let's ask him about that, because he would know. He works there. He would have all the dope on it, I would expect. That is, if he can get his microphone to fucking work. Good God, that boy puts on some loud noise, don't he, guys? We still all right here? Wait. Oh, no wonder. Let me hit this button right here. See what happens. There we go. Okay, we're good, I guess. All right. Well, I think that's about all I've got tonight. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead. I'm going to sign. Is this still going around? About the woman who got injured from the vaccine and had her face all screwed up and everything? I thought she'd either be cured up or dead by now, one of the two. Still looks like she's in rough shape. I think that's old. What is going on here? Potential Hurricane Nadine may be on Hurricane Milton's toes after landfall. Oh my God. What the fuck? So look at here. This is nuts. Jesus. Okay, potential Hurricane Nadine may be on Hurricane Milton's toes after landfall. Major Hurricane Milton current data landfall 1 to 2 a.m. Thursday morning, dark. 165 mile an hour sustained winds, 190 mile per hour gusts, 15 to 20 feet of storm surge. Oh, wow. And we saw in that simulation what 9 feet would do. Jesus. Peak hurricane season clearly stated late, but we are in the thick of it now. Expect many more hurricanes before the end of the season. So this is, let's see, what's going on? Let me take this back and bring it up. All right, let's see. Damn. The fuck? Oh man. Jesus, he's just like stacking them like fucking airplanes at an airport or something, man. You know what I mean? That can't be real. Holy shit. What's this? Presently, the shelves in Miami. This is what the shelves in Miami look like. Empty. Empty, empty, empty. Damn. Well, all we can do is pray for these people. That's all. Yeah, that does not look natural. It does not. It does not. But anyway, we'll see what comes about from it. You got another show coming up soon, Ryan? No? All right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for coming up tonight and everybody who showed up in the chat. Those of you caught in the path of this storm, man, I send my prayers to you. I don't know what else to do. If any of you can and have the resources to, please try and donate either your time or goods to the efforts of the people in North Carolina and Tennessee and South Carolina and all these areas that have been greatly affected by this storm. And, be careful who you donate to as well. Oh, here's Roger coming on just as I'm signing off.
Hey, no, that's not
Hey.
happening. So none of that shit's happening.
So they're not taking all the meat and eggs and
No.
dairy and shit. No.
Yeah, that's a Karen move, dude. She wants attention on the internet, so she's doing that. I guarantee it. Now we have a run on milk.
Now that would be,
That's another-
now how do we know that you haven't been compromised by Walmart to say that? See, no.
How should I verify that? Hold on a minute. Let's see.
Yeah, he's been compromised.
Yeah, they're paying me a little extra, a couple $100 under the table, and I just say what they tell me to say. Yeah.
Sent you down to Kroger's
I'm
to film the meat case. Say it's Walmart.
I can go show you our meat case now if you want to look at it.
I trust you, man. I trust you. I was just getting ready to.
Now we're low on milk.
Yeah, they
I know,
seem
but
to
I
be
heard you
low on
on.
help everywhere. But then they want to make it a motherfucker for you to get a job there. You got to go through all this bullshit and everything. It seems to me you need help. Hire somebody, motherfucker. God damn.
Yeah, but nobody wants to work soft.
Yeah, that's what they say, but it's nobody wants to go through all the fucking bullshit to get the job that only pays shit,
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, they want to put you through enough shit like you're trying to get a fucking job at NORAD, and it's like, motherfucker, it's Walmart, get a grip.
What's your
here.
DNA and your face print?
Yeah.
Your thumbprint? Yeah. A skin sample, please, so we can make sure it's you.
Yeah. You intrusive motherfuckers. I'm not inviting you over for dinner. I'm offering to do a task for you. Okay? I'm not trying to be your friend. I'm not trying to be in your family. I hate, man, anytime you hear them start talking about where you work being a family and shit, run. Turn around and run. That's just the way that is. Yeah. Anytime they start talking about, oh, we're a big family, you can bet you that Big Daddy's gonna fuck you when it comes down to it. That's the reality of it. So, anyway, well, thanks for coming up, Roger, giving us that update and letting us know that that's just a bunch of horse shit. I figured it probably was. So, did you figure out a title for your stream or whatever? No? Okay, he's gone. All right. Well, as we always like to say on the good old Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, before we sign out, don't forget the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey and see your doctor and get rid of his ass. He'll probably kill you. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul.
I remember when I lost my